December's astrology is non-stop and not letting up, even though it's the final month of the year. We're kickstarting it with a new moon in Sagittarius, ending it with a second new moon in Capricorn, and having a full moon in Gemini, which is the same day that its ruler Mercury comes out of retrograde. Almost every single day in the month of December, we have astro weather events going on, planets entering retrograde, ending their retrograde, and so much more, everything in between. We're going to navigate all of it together, so grab your birth chart, grab your planner, grab your calendar, grab all the things, and we're about to navigate December 2024. Welcome back, my Astro family. Can you freaking believe it? We are on the final month of 2024, and what a roller coaster ride has this year been. If we reflect back to the spring, we had the eclipses, that total solar eclipse in April. May brought with it the lottery aspect of Uranus and Jupiter. We went through the summer, which had some roller coasters, especially the blue moon in July and that wild, do you remember, full moon in Aquarius in August. Then we went back into eclipse season in September and October. October brought with it Halloween and the scorpionic energy of change. Then, of course, November, we had the elections, Pluto moving into Aquarius, the Mars-Pluto opposition. And now here we are in December, and it's not letting up at all. The first week of December has 13 astro weather events in just that first week. And they're pretty potent and they're pretty life-changing. Almost every single day in December has an astro weather event attached to it or at least surrounding it. Lots and lots to discuss in today's video. You know that my month ahead forecasts are deep dives. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Mandy Rose. I consider myself the relational astrologer. You will notice in all of my content that I like to focus on ultimately helping you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships. So we are going to get into my top 5 transits of the month ahead that I see impacting our relationships. So hopefully you enjoy that. If you're new to my month ahead forecasts, hi, I'm Mandy Rose. I consider myself the relational astrologer because my main goal is to help you understand the tool of astrology to have better relationships in your life. You will notice that in all of my content, I take a focus at helping you understand the cosmic weather so you can understand not only yourself better, but also the relationships around you and why people may be acting the way that they're acting. And I give you the top 5 transits of the month ahead that are going to impact your relationships. So I hope you enjoy that section. If you are new to my month ahead forecast videos, you will see in the description box all the timestamps. So let me help you navigate them really quickly. I know you're going to want to jump ahead to your rising sign forecast. If you do that, make sure you come back and at least listen to the overview. In the overview, I'm going to give you the general energy of the month ahead so you kind of know not only what's going on in your own life, but most importantly, to have better relationships, what's going on in the collective and the people around you. I'm going to have also a section in this video where we are going to deep dive into the planet by planet breakdown. This is going to be really important to view for your primary life coach. If you don't know who your primary life coach is, I consider each of the planets life coaches, and we have one planet that rules over us depending on our rising sign. So I'm going to pull up the chart here. If you don't know your rising sign planet, check it out in the graph here. You're going to want to go to the timestamp for that specific planet. However, I do recommend that you listen to the entire planet by planet breakdown because all the planets are teaching us lessons and they're moving over different areas of the sky that you may want to compare to your birth chart to see how those planets are impacting you personally. Then, of course, we get into the what's in the stars, which is where I go week by week to help you navigate the weeks ahead, the astro weather events, breaking them down individually to help you see what might be going on a specific date that is in your calendar. Now, of course, this month we have a lot of holiday activities, holiday events, lots of things going on. So you may want to know exactly what is going on cosmically and in the energy so that you can prepare ahead and maybe rearrange if you need to. Now, with all of that, we are going to start out with the overview. I do want to give you one reminder. I do a monthly plan with me session, so I'd love to have you come join me for that. It's going to be on Sunday, December 1st, as we kickstart the month with the new moon in Sagittarius. We will gather together here on YouTube live. Bring your calendar, bring your journal, bring your planner, bring all the things. We will deep dive into the month ahead, making our Google Calendar together. If you want an example of what we do, you can head back to my November Plan With Me video. I'm still getting used to it. That was only my second one, so bear with me as we navigate each month and improve. But come join me, ask any of your astro questions, and hang out together under the Sagittarius new moon. So with that, let's just kickstart with the overview of December. What is in store? Let's reflect of the energy that we are coming into December with. as we end 2024 and leave it with the new moon in Capricorn. So first thing to know about December is we are entering with a Mercury retrograde. So our mind is slowing down, we're reflecting, we're reanalyzing, we're reassessing all the Mercury retrograde things. Of course, we are coming out of the Thanksgiving holiday, so many people have travel plans for the month ahead, and also a lot of people are doing their end of the year tests, reviews, taxes, contracts, negotiations, signing of paperwork. So just know until the 15th of December, it's not going to be an optimal time for any of those mercurial things. And even when he gets out of retrograde on the 15th, we're still going to have this post-shadow Mercury retrograde energy lingering till January 2nd. So just take note, take inventory. If you're catching this video before November 25th, before Mercury officially kickstarts his retrograde, you have a chance to prepare for this energy. So if you're traveling between the 25th of November and the 15th of December, make sure you have all of your T's crossed, your I's dotted, backup plans, all your documents printed out. If you are signing any kind of contracts or end of the year stuff, make sure you are reviewing them over and over again. And lastly, if you're taking any tests because you're in school, make sure you understand you're going to need to allot a little extra time to study, as your mind might be a little bit more mushy. I go way more into detail in my Mercury retrograde video, so go check that out. Now, besides the Mercury retrograde, we're going to have a Mars retrograde, and this is huge to understand, especially if you're an Aries or a Scorpio rising, because your primary life coach, the planet that rules you, is Mars, and you like to be forward and take energy and exert it outward. But Mars retrogrades for all of us are times when our masculine energy, the energy that we exert out into life, our motivation, our drive, our stamina, our chi, all of that energy that we push out is going to dry up. It's going to slow down. Mars going retrograde, he literally is getting off the highway, out of the left lane, pulling off into the parking lot and pausing, resting, getting a snack, getting gas, checking the map, making sure the destination he wants to drive to is still the actual destination. So we are ending 2024 with this Mars retrograde energy, slowing down, not feeling as vital, not feeling as motivated. And this starts on December 6th. So we might notice as the holiday activities and the holiday festivities start ramping up, you just don't feel like it this year. You want to stay home, you want to nestle in. As he's going to retrograde back into Cancer, you may want to really nurture your home, spend more time in your environment with family and friends and people that feel safe, secure, and comfortable. You may not want to go to these huge, lavish parties. You may want to just nestle in a little bit. So pay attention to your energy levels and honor them, especially with this Mars retrograde. And I have a separate video completely on this Mars retrograde energy, but know that that is baked into the end of this year. And we're not going to start January with this chi and fire and stamina of goal setting and getting a bunch of stuff done. We're going to be very mental and strategic and planning and analyzing and preparing and reflecting and reviewing and going back to the drawing board to make sure that when we do get in the left lane in 2025, which won't really actually happen till April of next year, we are going to have a fast track, clear path from A to Z of where we want to go and how we're going to get there. So honor that energy. Now, we do have some planets coming out of retrograde, which is really exciting. Saturn, of course, is already out of retrograde, so pay attention to any karmic lessons or challenges that he's throwing your way. But Neptune is coming out of retrograde as well at the beginning of the month. And this is beneficial to us because Neptune, when he is retrograde, he takes our rose-colored glasses off and we're facing a harsh reality. And that has been the circumstance of what we've been under for the last 6 months, where everything seems harsh, dramatic. We can't dig our head in the sand. It's like so much has come into light. So much has been revealed and we had to face it. We had to take people and things off of pedestals and 2020 vision of our reality. But now this month, Neptune is going back direct and he's putting those rose-colored glasses on and he's letting us dream again, envision, be romantic, be creative, go into la la land. And this is beautiful energy as we end 2024, where our chi and our stamina is slowed down with the Mars retrograde. And our mind is reflecting and reviewing with the Mercury retrograde. And Neptune is like, I'm here to help you dream, to envision, to manifest, to believe, to have faith, to have trust again, so that when you set your goals for 2025, you come from this higher conscious perspective space and you truly can envision the life of your dreams. And that's what we need for manifestation. So we love this energy. Once Neptune is out of retrograde, he is going to zoom on through, get to that anaretic degree of Pisces again, and cross over into Aries, happening on March 30th. So he is fast forwarding, leaving Pisces, entering into Aries, which is going to be a huge karmic reset for all of us. We'll talk way more about that in the 2025 forecast video. However, Neptune out of retrograde is great energy. And at the end of the month, end of the year, Chiron comes out of retrograde on the 28th. Chiron is our wounds. We've been having to go back and heal old wounds, reflect on old wounds, deal with old wounds. And as he comes back into forward direct motion, it is a chance for us to move forward with healed energy, healed wounds, and facing other things that we can do to help heal others. So I do love that energy. So lots of retrograde stuff going on. Now let's talk about the lunations. We kickstart the month on the 1st with the new moon in Sagittarius. I love this Sagittarius new moon every single year because it's very much about new beginnings, new fresh starts, and Sagittarius is about exploration, expanding your life, getting out of your comfort zone, checking things off your bucket list, doing things that are new and exciting and adventurous, and just living life like it's an adventure, never knowing what's around every corner. So really setting some beautiful intentions. It's also being very optimistic and joyful and positive. Today, I am actually drinking the Sagittarius tea blend from my Astrology tea collection, and it's this beautiful blue color. We put butterfly pea flower in it because it creates the embodiment and energy of Sagittarius, which is super exciting. So we're going to celebrate that new moon together right here live on YouTube. So come join me for that, for our plan with me for December. We are going to end the month, though, with a new moon in Capricorn. So the second new moon of the year gives us a black moon or dark moon. And that new moon is in Capricorn, which is all about goal setting, succeeding, achieving, climbing to the top of the mountain, and allows us to set our intention for the success, for the discipline and commitment we're going to have as we move forward into 2025. What a beautiful way to end the year. So on the 30th at that new moon, make sure you are working on your vision board. You're planning out strategic, tangible goals for your new year ahead. I love this energy and I cannot wait to make the new moon in Capricorn video for you, because I'm going to give you a really good ritual that you can do and how you can strategically plan for your year ahead under that new moon energy. Now, in the middle of those two new moons, we're going to have the full moon in Gemini, smack dab in the middle of the month on the 15th. That full moon in Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right? Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. Mercury will be ending his retrograde on that exact same day. And so essentially, we're going to have the sun in Sagittarius, where Jupiter is retrograde, and the moon in Gemini, where Mercury has been retrograde. And we are going to focus in on these areas of life that deal with our mind, our beliefs, our lower conscious mind, which is the data and the facts and what we've analyzed and what we've assessed and what we have read and heard and spoken about. And Sagittarius, our higher conscious mind, our wisdom, our knowledge, our experience, our street smarts, what we know to be true because we've actually lived it. And we are going to get this full moon that's going to highlight our mind and our perspective and what needs to be released and let go of, what narratives, what stories, what beliefs, what old information, what old data, what old thoughts don't serve us anymore, that we must let go and release so we can step into our new reality in 2025 and set new intentions under that new moon in Capricorn 2 weeks later. So essentially, let me give you an example. This could be you having a story or narrative that money's really hard to make. Right? It's really hard to make money. I got to work all these hours and I got to work overtime and it's so exhausting. And you let go under that full moon in Gemini, that belief, that data, that information, that experience, and realize that there's another way, another program, another belief, another story. So you let it go. And at the new moon in Capricorn, when you're goal setting for your year ahead, you set this financial goal that is way higher than you ever would have set prior to the December energy. Now that Neptune is out of retrograde and you can dream and vision a little bit higher, and you have some healed wounds of Chiron, of yourself and your identity, and Mars is retrograde, so you're not like going out and making money, you're sitting back a little bit and strategizing how you're going to make more money, you can set those new intentions. That is one example, and there's many ways this is going to play out, very dependent on your rising sign, and we'll get more into that in just a moment. Now, another major thing that's happening this month is that we are halfway between eclipse season. So when we get to December 23rd, we are going to have the sun square the north node, the sun square the south node, a T square in the sky. This is what we call bending of the nodes. And the sun, when it's in the same zodiac energy as the north node or the south node, we have an eclipse. Those are our eclipse seasons. So now that the sun is going to be in Capricorn at the same degree point as the nodes in Aries and Libra, we're going to have this T-square. So halfway between the change that happened in the fall during the eclipses and the change that's in store during the spring eclipse cycle. So it's a big reflection day for all of us. But speaking of T-squares, we're going to have another massive T-square in the month of December, and that is going to be Saturn square Mercury and square Jupiter. I'm going to pull up the chart of that here because this is an energy that's repeating itself 3 times. We had this energy very potent in November during Mercury's pre-shadow phase. We've also had Jupiter and Saturn square up already in August, right around that potent full moon in Aquarius. If you remember that was a volatile time in most people's lives. And now here in December, we're going to have this energy repeat 2 more times. So for a total of 3 times. And this is going to be potent at the beginning of the month, the first week, like I mentioned, which is a very potent week with 13 astro weather events kickstarting December. And it's going to repeat right around Christmas on the 26th. Saturn comes in, plays crossing guard, says, hold up, stop, pause, reflect before you move forward. And Jupiter and Mercury retrograde is again the mind. So Saturn's going to be influencing our mind at this time and helping us commit to new thought patterns and commit to new beliefs and allow us to tear down old structures that no longer serve us when it comes to our mind. So I love this energy, but might be a little challenging and ultimately affecting all of our relationships because at the end of this cycle, you may be thinking different. You may have a different viewpoint. You may have a different perspective, and people in your life might not be able to relate to you anymore, or you might not be able to relate to other people who've changed their mind. And we'll talk more about that in a second in my top 5 transits affecting our relationships. But I'm going to wrap up this overview with just reminding you that we are going to be in the sun season of Sagittarius until we get to the winter solstice. So we are going to celebrate the winter solstice on the darkest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere on December 21st. This is going to be a season where we are going to have Sagittarius energy for the first half of the month of excitement and exploration and adventure and travel. However, Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is going to be retrograde. So it may not feel as holly and jolly around this holiday season as it normally would. Figure out how you can find gratitude and joy in the small moments and be grateful for the little things. That is Jupiter's retrograde's lessons to us right now. And when we get to that darkest night of the year on the 21st and the sun moves into Capricorn, it is time for us to anchor down and root down into the life we want to build. Earth energy. The sun is going to highlight what you want to succeed and achieve and the work you're going to have to do and the discipline is going to require for you to build that new life. So there's a lot of reflection and analyzing going on for this month ahead. Now, I could go on and on, of course, because there is so much. But remember, if this video is a lot for you and you are not going to remember everything I talk about, you can always join us on the Astro Weather Telegram channel. That is a place where I send a daily voice memo every day, helping you navigate the day on the day. So when you're listening to this video, you might not remember everything I say, or you watch hours and hours of content on YouTube and you go, you know what, this is like not resonating because it's not on the day that it's actually happening. I don't know what's going to happen on December 13th in my life. I don't know what I have booked on the 20th. You have the Astro Weather Telegram channel where you have the voice memo on your phone. You can hit play in the morning, hear my voice memo of what's going on, how to navigate the day, what you should do, shouldn't do, journal prompts, all these things that I give the Astro family over there. And then you can join us in the description box. There's a free 7-day subscription. Take advantage of that because in January, that free 7-day subscription is going away and you'll have to pay to come join us. And we'll be doing new and full moon ceremonies as well and some journal scripting for the new year. With all of that then, let's move on to my top 5 transits that I have seen in the month of December that I know will impact our relationships and how you're going to navigate that. So first and foremost, let's talk about Venus as she rules over our relationships. This month, Venus is moving from Capricorn into the zodiac energy of Aquarius, right at the beginning of the month on the 7th. This is important because the minute she enters into Aquarius, she's going to conjunct Pluto. And this is an energy that's going to repeat itself in the Aquarius area of your birth chart for the next 20 years. Pluto and Venus will always meet up in Aquarius from here on out for 2 decades. Venus rules over our relationships, our finances, everything that we love, and Pluto wants transformation. He surges power. He helps you destroy something to rebuild something new. And this is their first real meetup officially in this energy. And so on December 7th and the 8th, as Venus runs into Pluto, it is that reminder to all of us. Pluto is P, power, to stand in your own power when it comes to the relationships in your life. That the relationships that need a transformation, the transformation begins when you take control of yourself and your participation in that relationship, and then therefore work through that relationship from a place of empowerment. Oftentimes in relationships, we feel like we are surrendering to the other person and their needs, their wants, their desires, or we feel like we're stuck and we can't get out of it because what are we going to do? This is going to be beautiful and magical for our relationships where you're going to stand in your power once again in all relationships in your life, not just romantic. So that's definitely going to be impactful. And I want you to take note and inventory as that energy is going to repeat itself again for 2 decades. The second astro weather event for the month of December that will impact your relationships heavily is going to be the Mars retrograde. Mars retrogrades the least. Remember, he does not like to get off the left lane in the highway and pull over at a rest stop. He wants to keep going. And so in our relationships, that's our drive and our masculine energy that we put towards relationships or towards goals in our life. And so as this energy retrogrades for many of us in our partnerships or in relationship with other people, we may not want to give as much. We may not want to exert our energy or help other people or serve other people or do all these favors or go to parties or just show up. We're going to be tired. So in relationships, if people are canceling, bailing, not showing up, not giving you an extra present, not going out of their way to come to your party, let them. As a relational astrologer, I'm here to remind you what is going on in the collective so that ultimately you can have better relationships because you understand and you're giving people grace and patience because they too are under the influence of this cosmic weather. Mars retrograde is going to make everyone more tired, lethargic, exhausted because they need to go into a space of reflection. So spend time with people that matter to you where it doesn't seem like a lot of effort, and respective people are just needing to take a step back. With that, we are going to have Mars and Venus opposite in the sky, with Venus being in Aquarius and Mars being in Leo, retrograding. Venus is going to win that fight. We'll talk more about it in What's in the Stars in our week-by-week breakdown. But this is going to be an opportunity for all of us as we get to this opposition where you have to make a decision what relationships you want to invest your energy, Mars, in when he comes out of retrograde that is going to benefit your life for the long term in your future with Venus in Aquarius. And it has to work for you in the authentic way that you choose to live your life as you move forward. Talk more about that, of course, later. Now, the third astro weather event that I know will heavily impact us, of course, again, is that Mercury retrograde. Mercury is very important when it comes to our connections, our socializing, our relationships, because it's how we're speaking and expressing and what we're sharing and how we're listening and how we're agreeing or disagreeing or signing contracts. And so this Mercury retrograde energy, especially in Sagittarius, is flipping our narrative and flipping our perspective. And like I said, oftentimes we relate to people because they think like us. They have the same religious beliefs, the same political affiliations, the same thought process, the same perspective on life. And we form connections with people based on this. But as people around you are switching their narrative and changing their view and changing their beliefs, that might rumble some relationships in your life. So either you zoom out and have the higher conscious perspective of what Mercury is asking you in Sagittarius, and you allow other people's opinions to benefit your life because we all need different views to make the world go round, to change our mind and expand our mind. Or you get stuck and narrow in that thinking, and that's where Saturn might come in with the square and teach you a lesson and lose a friendship, lose a relationship that could have benefited you in the future, but you chose to be so narrow-minded and not learn the Mercury retrograde or Saturn lessons. So pay attention. Relationships can definitely be affected by the thoughts, the words, the conversations that are happening with this Mercury retrograde. The fourth transit that I know is going to impact our relationships happens at the end of the month, the end of the year, with Venus square Uranus. Now, Uranus has been very active in the sky this year. Remember, he was part of the lottery aspect in Taurus season back in April. He was part of the full moon that we had in August, that Aquarius full moon. He was conjunct smack dab on top of the full moon in Taurus we had in November. And now this month, he is going to trine Venus at the beginning of the month and then square her at the end of the month. What does this mean for our relationships? Well, we have an opportunity at the beginning of the month to try something unconventional in our relationships, to shake it awake, to jolt the stuck and stagnant energy out of it. And it may not work. And if it does not work, we're going to have to break or end or disrupt or change or make a tough decision for our relationships as we move forward into the future on the 28th when Venus squares Uranus. So pay attention. The Venus trine Uranus day, we'll get into that again in a moment, is the day where you may want to, for example, with your partner, you've been really stuck in your habits and your routines, doing the same old thing. You might say, you know what, let's go on a vacation, or let's do a weekend getaway, or let's go do something fun. And you go do that thing with your partner only to realize that you still despise them. Like, you cannot have fun with them. You do not get along. You do not connect. And so at the 28th, after the holidays, all that happens, you make that decision to move forward in your life and change that dynamic or that relationship in a unique way. Okay, so it might be just like living apart or having separate bedrooms or actually separating completely. Like, there's so many different potentials, and it could be either a new relationship or ending an old relationship. So definitely this Venus-Uranus energy is going to play out in December. And the fifth transit that I know will definitely impact our relationships and that I'm so here for is the new moon in Capricorn on the 30th. This is going to be an energy where it's new moon, new fresh beginnings. And Capricorn is about setting goals and setting intentions and moving towards that. And so for our relationships, this gives us an opportunity to set our relationship goals. Of course, at the end of the year, we set all these goals, work goals, health goals, family goals, vacation goals, personal goals. Relationship goals need to be a part of that category. We need to make sure that we are looking at the relationships in our life and setting intentions with that new moon. Maybe it's to call your best friend once a week and have a catch-up session at the same time every week. Maybe it's setting an intention to have that family reunion this year, once and for all, after you put it off for many, many years. Or maybe you set an intention to go on a dating app and start meeting people and having fun in the dating scene again. Making sure you put the relationship category in your 2025 intentions and goal planning at that new moon. And we'll talk again more about that in the new moon in Capricorn video. All right, now let's get into the fun part of this video where I'm going to pull up the chart. We are going to put all the planets on the chart one by one, what the planets are up to. So go ahead and grab your birth chart. I'm going to reset this and we'll get into the planet by planet breakdown. We're going to put each planet up one by one so you can see if the planets are going to be activating anything in your own birth chart. Make sure you listen for your primary life coach. Of course, all the planets are teaching us lessons in different ways, but the one planet that rules your rising sign is the planet that is most impactful to you specifically. If you don't know who your primary life coach is, I'll pull up the chart here again really quickly, and let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start out with the North and the South node. This is the final month where we're going to have the North node in Aries, the South node in Libra. This has been a journey for us since last summer, so almost 18 full months of the North node in Aries, our eyes on the prize, our North Star, focusing in on how to take care of ourselves, me, myself, and I, Aries, your main character energy. So reflecting back and asking yourself, have you learned this lesson? Have you focused in on this area of your life and made sure to put your own oxygen mask on? Meanwhile, the South node in Libra this month is wrapping up any kind of karmic endings, releasing, letting go of relationships and things that don't serve you any longer, especially tendencies like people pleasing or caring too much about the opinions of others. So the nodes are going to move from 4 degrees back to 1 degree. And we're also going to have the bending of the nodes with the sun in Capricorn this month. That is going to be the halfway point during the eclipse season. So the spring eclipse cycle that's coming up in 2025, the fall eclipse cycle that we just experienced, we are going to be in the halfway point this month. But we'll get more into that when we talk about the sun. Now let's deep dive into Chiron. Now, Chiron is the life coach that teaches us to heal our wounds. Chiron is also in the zodiac energy with Aries. And this is Chiron really teaching us some lessons around old wounds that we need to heal that don't serve us, that have been holding us back from stepping into our true authentic self. Now, this month, Chiron is going to be very active. He is coming out of retrograde officially on December 28th. As he's been retrograde, we've been forced and called to go back to old wounds. He brings up pain points, ouchies, inflammation, irritation, things in our life that have been painful for a while that maybe we've swept under the rug or decided, we don't need to deal with that. No, during a Chiron retrograde since last July, a lot of these painful experiences, memories, relationships, conversations, things in our life that need to be healed once and for all. And when he gets out of retrograde on the 28th, is going to be a time for us to move forward. And with this healed version of ourselves, help heal others and focus on other things that need our attention. And this month, he's also very actively involved with the Mercury retrograde and the Jupiter retrograde, trining and sextiling those two planets. I talk so much more about that in the Jupiter and the Mercury retrograde video, so you can check that out. But just know he is supporting the reprogramming of our mind, better thinking thoughts, using our words, our language, our tone, communication, and expression in a healthier way, in a more healed way in our partnerships and in our connections. So Chiron, very active this month. Now let's talk about Pluto. Pluto is making moves this month. It's his first official full month in the zodiac energy of Aquarius. He is now moving the power to the people of Aquarius. He has torn down, crumbled, destroyed the Capricornian energy in our personal lives and in the world. Any kind of top-down structure, right? Things with like a CEO, government, institutions, MLMs, anything where there is a person at the top and it looks like the mountain of Capricorn, that has been destroyed. And it's time now for the collective, a grouping of people to serve everyone. And so Pluto is on his way, only going to 1 degree of Aquarius this month. He is also going to get a visitation by Venus in December, and upcoming next year in January, we're going to have the sun, the new moon there, Mercury, lots of planets dancing over Pluto and welcoming into the Aquarius area of the sky. And at the end of the month, he is going to be in a sextile to the North Node. This is going to be baked in to the new year 2025 solar return chart, bringing power to ourselves, our needs, our wants, our desires, and stepping into a new identity. Now let's talk about Neptune. Neptune this month is also active. Neptune is our life coach that helps us dream, live in la la land. However, it has not felt that way because he's been in retrograde since July. This month, however, at the beginning of the month on December 6th, Neptune comes out of retrograde and he allows us to put our rose-colored glasses back on. During his retrograde, we've had to see our reality, see the truth, face it with 20/20 vision. This is where we've taken a lot of people and things off of pedestals. Things have been revealed, like we are just seeing it for what it is. And now, after the 6th, as Neptune comes out of retrograde and we get to put those glasses on again, we dream, we have visions, we can see things from a higher perspective, we see the magic in life. It is such a dreamy time where we can move forward through the end of the year, and it's perfect for setting those New Year intentions, New Year's resolutions, making vision boards. We're able to kind of see what's possible again, the magic in life, and being able to manifest. So love this energy. Thank gosh for Neptune. And remember, as he comes out of retrograde, he's now going to fast forward through Pisces, get to that anaretic degree of 29 degrees, and jump into Aries by March 30th. So lots to do for him as he's wrapping up his journey in Pisces. When he enters into Aries, it's his first time being there in 165 years, so it's a pivotal energy, and we'll talk so much more about that, obviously, in the upcoming astro forecast videos. But side by side with Neptune is Saturn. Saturn is out of retrograde now officially as we move into December. Saturn is Lord Karma, so he's going to bless us or punish us depending on how well we learned his lessons as he journeyed through Pisces. He is going to follow Neptune, dancing out of Pisces now, running into Aries. Now, he won't get to Aries until May of 2025, and then he's going to retrograde back into Pisces. However, this is our final month of learning some of these Piscean lessons. Having compassion, having empathy, anchoring into our spiritual practice, having faith, trust in the universe, trust in life, trust in God, whatever that means for you. Also becoming more disciplined and committed to your spiritual practices, instilling some boundaries, having some strong foundations in your mental health, emotional health, and energetic health. Lots of Saturn lessons. And again, hopefully you learn them because this month you might be getting some of that karmic reward or punishment. And on top of that, he is heavily involved with the Mercury and the Jupiter retrograde. He's creating a T-square to these energies and really saying, stop, pause, reflect. What are you thinking? What do you believe? Is this truly the foundation of thoughts that you want to hold as we move into the new version, the new life, the new reality that we're creating? So Saturn is very active this month. I'll walk you through it step by step when we get to the What's in the Stars week by week breakdown, but he's definitely making some moves this month. alongside of Saturn making moves this month is Uranus. He has been so active in all of 2024. He is in the zodiac energy of Taurus this month, still retrograding. Remember, Uranus is the planet that helps us move forward, liberates us, helps us innovate, do things in a new, unconventional way, stripping us of any kind of roadblocks or barriers that we hold ourselves to, our own shackles. And he says, choose change, or he's going to choose it for you. And now that he's retrograde, he's going back to all the choices in our life that we were not strong enough to make, and he's starting to make them for us. So this is where life can get very uncomfortable. Now, this year alone, we had Uranus involved with the lottery aspect in Taurus when Jupiter met up with him, and that was in May. Then we had him heavily involved with the full moon in Aquarius, which was the full moon in August on the 19th. If you remember, that was a wild one. Then he was active at the full moon in Taurus that we had in November, just last month. And now this month, he is going to square Venus and be actively involved with some of the other planets moving through the fixed energies. Now, this is important because Uranus square Venus at the end of the year is going to allow us to choose change in the areas of life that we value and prioritize, like our relationships, our finances, and our creative projects. So we're going to end the year making a massive decision, and the decision may be made for us as Uranus brings some sudden, jolting, unexpected energy, but he's helping us reinvigorate our life and choose a new way forward. So we'll pay attention to that. That is happening right at the end of the month on the 28th. Now let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that usually gives us gifts, blessing, prosperity, opportunity, all good things. However, he is also retrograde this month, and he'll be retrograde until the 4th of February. He's retrograding in the zodiac energy of Gemini, which means ultimately, because we are not expanding and growing and getting newness, we have to go back to the gifts he's already given us. What opportunities have come into your life, even specifically the Gemini area of your life based on your birth chart? What gifts have come in? What blessings have you received from May till September? Because now you have to go back to that. So maybe you made some new friends. Go back and nurture that friendship. Maybe you got into a new relationship. Spend time with that person. Get to know them. Maybe you had some new clients in your business. Go back and have gratitude for them. Nurture those relationships. Whatever has come in, you now take what you've received and expand that. Jupiter also very active this month as he's going to be opposite the Mercury retrograde and squaring Saturn. That is an energy that is repeating. It happened at that full moon in Aquarius. Remember that full moon in Aquarius I told you guys back in August? That energy is going to ripple over. There's going to be ripples that lead us into 2025. Well, this is another one of those ripples. We had the first Saturn-Jupiter square at that time. We're going to have the second one this month around the holidays on December 26th. So we'll be talking more about that as well. Big, potent energy, though, and it will repeat a third and final time in 2025. Now with Mars this month, he is kicking off his retrograde. And this is a very interesting energy because Mars loves to be in the left lane, gas pedal, moving forward. We love that in our life too. It's our masculine energy as we drive forward, move in a new direction. However, this month, he kickstarts his retrograde. He's the planet that retrogrades the least because, again, we don't want to move backwards, but it's time to pull off the highway, get out of the left lane, and stop at that scenic outlook point, right? You can't look at the map and be driving in the left lane pedal to the metal. You got to pull over, enjoy the view, get some gas, get a snack, and make sure that your destination is still where you want to drive to. And how do you want to drive there? Do you want to take the scenic route and enjoy the ride, the ease and the flow? Or do you just want to get there as fast as you can? These are the questions we're going to be asking ourselves about our life during this Mars retrograde. And the fact that this Mars retrograde is happening at the end of the year where we usually like to hit the gas pedal and make New Year's resolutions and goals and jump into January with all this invigoration, that's not happening this year. You are going to feel your chi, your vitality, your stamina starting to sink with this Mars retrograde kicking off at the beginning of the month on December 7th. And so just paying attention, honoring your energy levels, and you're going to be assessing your creative talents, your creative skills, your zone of genius, how you're meant to show up in this world. What is your authentic, unique talents that you can contribute to society, that can benefit society, that only you alone have? And as Mars dips back into Cancer in January, this is going to be a time where we're going to reflect on what makes us feel safe, secure, and comfortable, spending energy, investing time in our home and in our family. So this is a very long retrograde energy. The potency of it really started in September and October and will last us all the way till April and May. So this is a topic of conversation that will not end in this video. I have a completely separate video with the Mars retrograde, breaking it all down to help you navigate it. So go check that out. And then let's talk about Venus. This is important because Venus, as a relational astrologer, I always need to know what she's up to, what she's doing, and how she's teaching us. So we kickstart the month with her in the zodiac energy of Capricorn. This is great because Capricorn is about those long-term goals, those long-term visions, the long-term relationships, our financial health for the long term. What are we building that will sustain us? She entered into Capricorn on 11/11, manifesting that energy, baking it into the 11/11 portal for the next solar year. And Venus is really concerned about being committed and disciplined to things that are long-term sustaining. So making sure that the relationships in your life really are anchored in, that they matter and they're going to matter in 10, 15, 20 years. Or working on a creative project and laying the foundation in that creative project so that you have sustainable success or sustainable achievable wealth. Now, Venus is going to be in Capricorn only for the first week of December, and then she's going to move into Aquarius on the 7th. This is going to be a big day because as she moves into Aquarius, she's going to run into Pluto, who is now in Aquarius. So every single year for the next 20 years, Venus is going to meet up with Pluto. And Pluto, remember, destroys, removes, breaks down, crumbles. And Venus likes to make things beautiful. And while she's in Capricorn and Pluto's like, all right, I destroyed Capricorn, anything top-down structure, any kind of Capricornian energy, the old systems, the old rules, the old regulations, the old, I've destroyed it. Venus has been immediately present and saying, well, I'm here to rebuild it. I'm here to make it beautiful and magical and magnificent again. Now she's going to do the same thing in Aquarius. So this energy is kicking off with this Aquarian change, innovation, forward momentum, new directions, unconventional, out of the box thinking. And this is going to impact our relationships. This is where we often see this season where people decide maybe to break up, but still like stay married. Or they decide to sleep in separate bedrooms, or they decide they want to date multiple partners. There's something unconventional in relationships possible here, and they might be really unique to each relationship. There's no cookie cutter way. And when it comes to our finances, this is where we may see, after the 7th of December, a lot of tech and crypto and innovation in the financial realm. So that should be interesting to see. And as people are launching creative projects, end of the year projects, New Year's projects, they're going to be done in a way that helps society move forward. This is really an energy of innovation and doing things in an authentic way that makes sense for the company, the person, the client, really individualized stuff. So love this energy. Then we move on to Mercury, of course, the star of the show for the month, with the Mercury retrograde energy already active as we step into December. He'll be hanging out in the zodiac energy of Sagittarius for the entire month. Due to his retrograde, we get triple the amount of time of Mercury in the Sagittarius area of our chart in 2024. So wherever that falls in your birth chart, we'll get into it in the rising sign forecast. Is Mercury spending time there for you to learn, express, communicate, speak on that area? Now, with this Mercury retrograde, remember it is active until the 15th of December. So we want to be aware of traveling, test taking, signing contracts, negotiating, conversations, all the end of the year things that we normally do to wrap up a year may get some disruptions or hiccups with this Mercury retrograde. And of course, we have Jupiter retrograde in Mercury's home sign. So it's going to feel like a double mercurial energy retrograde. So be very, very careful with that. Now, remember, Mercury is going to be very active during this month, not only because he's retrograding, but because he's having conversations with many of the other planets. I'm going to pull up this graph here. Again, I talk a lot about this in the Mercury retrograde video, so I don't want to be redundant, but you can see from this graph all the things that he's up to. Squaring Saturn twice this month, opposing Jupiter twice this month, trining Chiron twice this month, the Mercury Cazimi, the halfway point of the Mercury retrograde, meeting up with the Sun on the 5th of this month. So very busy, very active. Now remember, Mercury rules Gemini, where Jupiter's retrograding, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, where Mercury's retrograding. So we have this mutual reception. And it's causing this T-square with Saturn, right? So our mind is getting a software processing system update. new technology, new software in our brain. We're hearing things differently. We're speaking differently. We're learning differently. We're learning about different things. We're changing our beliefs. We're changing our opinions. We're changing our viewpoints. There's a lot of mental shifting going on this month, and that can ultimately impact our relationships and impact many other different areas of our life. So we definitely want to pay attention. He's very, very busy this month, and he won't be out of this retrograde energy until January 2nd. So lots of that mercurial stuff. And if you're a Gemini or Virgo rising, we will deep dive into that in your reading because you're ruled by Mercury. So you're not unfamiliar with a Mercury retrograde energy, but it's just very active this month. Now let's talk about the moon. Usually every month we have only 2 lunations, a full moon and a new moon. However, to wrap up 2024, we have 3 lunations this month, 2 new moons, and 1 full moon. That second new moon is then considered a black moon, a dark moon, the second new moon in a calendar month. And don't forget, I'm going to have a separate video on all of these. So if I skim by really quickly, it's because we're going to deep dive in each one of those individual videos. So the first new moon of the month is on the 1st of the month, the new moon in Sagittarius. Love this new moon energy because Sagittarius is about optimism, joyfulness, gaining a new perspective, checking things off your bucket list, going on an adventure, traveling, gaining wisdom, knowledge, experience, hiring a mentor. It's about expanding your consciousness, expanding your reality in some way. And so that new moon is a great time to set new intentions on all of those things, do some exploration, get out of your comfort zone in one way or another. Then we are going to have the full moon in Gemini halfway through the month on the 15th. That is going to be highlighting and illuminating where Jupiter has been retrograde. That is going to release and let go of some thought patterns, some mental downloads, data, information that doesn't serve you anymore. It's the same exact day that Mercury is coming out of retrograde on the 15th. So there is going to be a new perspective, maybe new information you've gathered from a conversation that you had during the Mercury retrograde, a podcast that you listened to. There was some sort of information that came into your life, into your experience, that changed your perspective. And now, because of that, you have to release and let go of the old story, the old narrative, the old belief, the old information. I'll give you an example. Let's say you went to school for marketing and you learned all this stuff about marketing and you've been holding on to that belief, that perspective, what you learned. This Mercury retrograde, however, expanded your mind and reprogrammed your mind to realize that what you learned 30 years ago in marketing no longer applies. So you now had to either go for a new course, update your certification, learn some new ways to market on social media, which didn't even exist when you went to college. And so you've expanded your mind and changed your beliefs and learned some new things. So at that full moon, you're like, well, I got to let go of all that data and all that information and go the new route. Or maybe you had a conversation in your relationships and you shared some new things and gained some new perspectives. And now you have to go a new route, or you've communicated differently with your partner. So something releasing and letting go, big full moon. And then we have the final full moon of 2024. Love, love, love this because it's the new moon in Capricorn, ending the year with this new moon energy, setting new intentions about Capricorn, long-term success, long-term goals, building all those dreams and SMART goals for 2025. Setting intentions of what you want to achieve, what matters to you, what are you going to anchor and root down, what are you going to get committed and disciplined to. We are going to have such a good vibe with that new moon and Capricorn energy. When we talk about it in the new moon video, I will have an entire ritual for you to do as you plan out 2025, because this new moon is baked into the solar return chart of January 1st of the new upcoming year. So love this energy. And then lastly, let's talk about the sun. As we kickstart the month of December, we are in Sagittarius sun season. And so when the sun is in Sagittarius, it is shining a spotlight. It is radiating upon us the constellation, the energy of Sagittarius. Fun, optimistic, joyful, expansive, adventurous, exciting. Love this energy, except for this year, it's not going to feel as fun and joyful because Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is retrograde. So usually for the holidays, we have the Sagittarian energy, gift giving, right? Jupiter gives gifts, exploration, adventure, traveling, excitement, loving this energy. But this year, it's not going to feel as holly jolly. It might not be as adventurous or as exciting because there's a lot of learning. There's reprogramming. We're slowing down Mars retrograde. We're reevaluating Mercury retrograde. We're having a lot of shifts in energy to prepare us for 2025. So this may not feel like such a typical holiday season. And now you know why. However, when we get to the 21st, we are going to have the sun moving into the zodiac energy of Capricorn. That is the winter solstice, the darkest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, the brightest night of the year in the southern hemisphere. And now the sun shifts into the energy of Capricorn, where we are thinking about our long-term achievements, long-term goals, how to get to where we want to go, how we want to climb the mountain, what do we need to create a strong foundation in our life on and around, and what can come with us, not only into the next chapter of our life, but for the long haul of our life. And don't forget, in your Astrology Alchemy journal, for each of the sun seasons, I have a bucket list for you to do. So during the Sagittarius sun season, make sure you add some of the bucket list items in there. And for the Capricorn sun season, you can add those bucket list items for your month ahead. That is to help you align with the cosmic energy. And through each of the sun seasons, you get to tap into that constellation, that energy, as the sun radiates it and shines it upon you. So that is our planet by planet breakdown. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take all the planets off. We're going to rearrange them to where they're going to be on December 1st. And then we're going to go through week by week, what's in the stars, what you can anticipate. You're going to want to go ahead and grab your calendar so you can see if you have anything going on and what is going on energetically on that day. And maybe you want to reschedule it. So let's get into it. Now, remember, if any of this is super complicated or you want more guidance and assistance, I am doing that December Plan With Me video on the 1st of December, the new moon in Sagittarius. Come join me for that. You can bring your birth chart. We're going to go through the planet transits so you can look in your chart to see how it's impacting you. You can hop into the chat, ask me any astrology questions. And we're also going to do the calendar, the Google Calendar, day by day, so you can see these astro weather events that we're talking about right now and know in your own calendar what's going on. So this is a good preview for you. And then I'll see you on the 1st live at 8 p.m. here on YouTube. So as we're starting out the month, December is a very busy, very active month. Almost every single day has an astrological weather event either tied to it or around it that is going to be impacting it. The first week is really hot and heavy with energy. We have 13 astrological weather events to navigate the first week alone. Every single day has an astro weather event, and they're all really big ones. So let's just start diving right into the first week of December. What's in the stars from December 1st to December 7th? Well, we kickstart, of course, the first day with the new moon in Sagittarius, the darkest night of the lunar cycle, allowing us to go in and set intentions of what kind of adventure that we want to go on in our life. Seeing life as an adventure, exploring, getting out of our comfort zone, setting intentions for anything on your bucket list, maybe creating a bucket list, maybe setting intentions for a travel or adventure, maybe gaining more wisdom or knowledge or experience, hiring a mentor, going back to school. All of these things are fantastic around the new moon in Sagittarius, and we will make a separate video guiding you through that with some activities and some rituals. So love this. However, this is going to be a very busy area of your chart. We have Mercury retrograde here. Now the sun is here for Sagittarius sun season and the new moon. So definitely heavy area of your birth chart. Then on the 2nd, we have Mercury trining Chiron. Now this is an energy that has already happened. If we go back to November 19th, before Mercury entered his retrograde, he had his first conversation with Chiron. Remember, Chiron brings up wounds, pain points, ouchies, inflammation, irritation, to remind you that pain is there and it needs to be healed, addressed, or solved, because Mercury is the mind. And so these wounds of conversation, connection, maybe someone's speaking to you and they're speaking to you in a way that is uncomfortable, or maybe their belief or their opinion is kind of painful. It hits this like childhood wound or trauma. Maybe it's a conversation you had in an email or a text message and it came across a little harsh. Maybe you're negotiating something with someone and it's just not going well. There's some sort of painful thing that's triggered, and maybe that came up on the 19th of November and now it's coming back up and you're having to reprocess your mind, rehab the conversation, try to gather more information from the other person's perspective to understand what is going on here. And then this energy is going to repeat a third and final time at the end of the month on the 31st. And that is when Chiron is out of retrograde and we kind of heal that wound. It's solved. Maybe you have a complete different style of communication, or you go back to that negotiation or that contract or that thing, and it's like almost like a resolution happens. But you had to reprogram and refocus your mind during this Mercury retrograde. Now, also on the 2nd, we have a big astro weather event where Venus is going to trine Uranus. Important to pay attention to this day. I want you to take note, take inventory, because Uranus and Venus are going to meet up again at the end of the month on the 28th as a square. And we know squares are tension points. Decisions need to be made. It's uncomfortable. And Uranus wants you to choose change or do something that moves you towards your future and liberates you. And Venus is all the things that we love, our relationships, our finances, our creative projects. So we're getting an opportunity at the beginning of the month with a trine, a supportive energy where Uranus is trying to coax you and pressure you into the change by saying, do something unconventional, shake this area of life up, do something out of your routine or your comfort zone. And then maybe you will get answers and know what change you need to make, what decision must happen before the end of the year. So let me give you an example. Venus rules our relationships. Maybe your relationship has been stuck and stagnant for a really long time. So you decide on the second that you're going to take your partnership and you're going to go on an adventure. You're going to do something unconventional. You're not going to stay at home and scroll on your phone. You're going to go do something, go on a weekend getaway. So you go on that weekend getaway and you realize that you cannot stand your partner. They really are annoying. And that's why you scroll on your phone. And so by the end of the month on the 28th, when Venus and Uranus come together, you decide to break up with your partner. They break up with you. Like something unexpected happens and you change, you move forward. Uranus says, choose change. Let's go next, right? Or let's say it's with your finances. You decide that you are going to do something different and unconventional with your money. You're going to invest it somewhere. And then throughout the month, it doesn't work out. And then when that Venus-Uranus square comes about, you have to make a decision that you are going to leave your job and go for a different job because the financial stuff isn't working out and you need to choose change. Lots of other ways that this energy could work out. So pay attention. You need to reinvigorate some area of your life with this Uranian, jolting, liberating, lightning bolt energy. And then it may come back around and you have to make the official decision and the official change. Now we do get a little bit of a break on the 3rd, but on the 4th, we have 3 astro weather events. The first one is Mercury officially opposing Jupiter. And remember that Mercury is in Jupiter's home sign and Jupiter is in Mercury's home sign. So they're in mutual reception, having a good conversation opposite each other. We're in the middle here on Earth, trying to get the data and facts, trying to understand different people's opinions, trying to understand what's going on in the collective, zooming out, gaining different perspectives. Like there is a lot of mental reprogramming happening on this date. So pay attention, especially while we're having this relational energy, the financial energy, this Venus-Uranus stuff going on. We're also having to gather more information and having different conversations and trying to figure it all out. This energy already happened on November 18th, right around the full moon in Taurus, and it's going to repeat a final time on December 26th. And that's really where you're going to be anchored in the new thoughts, having the new reprogramming. So this is a very mental day. And while that's happening, we're also going to have the Sun square Saturn. And remember, Saturn is wanting to step into this T-square energy, and the Sun is highlighting it now. And the Saturn says, hey, do you have a strong foundation? Pisces, do you have trust? Do you have faith? Do you have a belief in something higher than yourself? What about having empathy and compassion in these conversations? When we're having the perspective shift, hearing someone else's opinions, we have to have compassion and empathy. They don't have to think like us. It's actually beautiful and valuable if everyone has a different opinion or a different perspective, because then we can cherry pick the perspective or the opinion that we need to succeed. If everyone thought the exact same way, you're in an echo chamber, right? And everyone believes the same thing. What happens when there's a problem that you can't solve and everyone thinks the same way as you? You would never have the solution to a new problem. So it is beautiful and magical. And Saturn is saying, hey, we have to appreciate. Sometimes it's uncomfortable and sometimes it's hard to hear the opposite opinion, but it's time for us to zoom out and give people the benefit of the doubt. So there's a reframing, and that's great with our relationships. The 3rd astro weather event on that day is Venus is now going to sextile Neptune. Whenever this happens, sextiles are harmonious. Neptune is dreaming and la la land, romance, creativity, magic, inspiration, and Venus again is our relationship. So if you decide with this Uranian energy to get out of your comfort zone and to do something unconventional in your partnerships, like go on a vacation, you would have an opportunity 2 days later on the 4th to have this very romantic day. It is such a beautiful day for a date night, a self-care day, spending energy with yourself. Also beautiful for creativity and working on projects. Love that energy, tapping into it. On the 5th, we have the Sun-Mercury cazimi, the halfway point of the Mercury retrograde. So that is the day where we have the epiphany, the download, the inspiration. Someone has a conversation with us and tells us something that a light bulb goes off and you're like, oh my God, what? No freaking way. Or you listen to a podcast and it opens up your mind to a whole new rabbit hole or idea that you never even heard of before. So a lot going on, as you can see this week, with our mind, new conversations, new perspectives, new information coming in. On the 6th, Mars goes retrograde. This is where you're going to start to notice your chi, your vitality starting to sink, starting to slow down, definitely noticing that you're not going to feel as vital. It's time to get off the highway of life, pull over, course correct, look at your plan, look at your strategy, see what's working out, see what isn't working out. And we're going to be feeling this more and more through the rest of the month. So really remembering the question is looking at your creativity, your own zone of genius, how you're here to contribute, where you need more confidence and boldness and bravery to shine and share your talents out into the world. And of course, reflecting back when he gets into Cancer next year, where you want to instill more energy, invest more energy in your home and family, your environment, what makes you feel safe, secure, and comfortable. So much more to talk about with that. Make sure you go check out my Mars retrograde video where we break it all down in way more detail. Then we end the week on the 7th with 2 astro weather events. The first one is Venus now moving into Aquarius. As she does that, she's going to officially run into Pluto. When she runs into Pluto, it is reminding Pluto that, hey, any kind of transformation, destruction, secrets revealed, any unearthing or revelation that is in store for the Aquarius area of our chart, Venus is going to show up every single year and make it beautiful and magical and magnetic and pleasurable, just like she did in Capricorn. And so we're really kickstarting this energy of Pluto's beginning of power to the people and transformation, with Venus coming in and making it beautiful. And that applies to the Aquarius area of your birth chart. Now, as Venus dances through Aquarius, this is where we get these unconventional approaches to our finances, our relationships, and our creative projects. Oftentimes in this season, we look at our relationships and decide what direction we want to go for the future. And also understanding that sometimes that direction is unconventional. This is people staying married, but living in different homes, sleeping in different bedrooms, dating multiple people, like doing things that are more beneficial for that relationship, even if society doesn't approve. Same thing financially. This is where people can make a lot of investments or look at different ways or unconventional ways of gaining wealth, investing their money, saving their money. But ultimately, we get this opportunity to like detach. Aquarius is about detachment from the past relationship drama, past financial issues, and move forward. Move forward in a way that is applicable to the here and now. We gain a lot more freedom in our finances and freedom in our relationships by doing it in a unique, authentic way. And then lastly, at the end of the day at 6:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Neptune officially comes out of retrograde. We take those rose-colored glasses that we've ripped off and we've had to see life for the harsh truth, the harsh reality that it's been. We put those rose-colored glasses back on and we can dream again. We can envision, we can manifest, we can play in the magic. Love this energy. Neptune is now going to be direct as he runs through Pisces, hits that 29 degree, the anaretic degree in March, crosses over the 0 point of Aries, the karmic reset point, and enters into Aries on March 30th during the astrological new year. I cannot wait to talk way more about that energy, but the retrograde is officially over on December 7th. And that wraps up the first week of December. As you can see, lots of astro weather events going on. As we move into the second week of December, it gets a little easier. There's a little bit more flow for us to process and integrate all of this energy and earth it down into our reality. So let's talk about the second week of December. What's in the stars from December 8th through the 14th? Now, Venus is the star of the show. As we move through this energy, we have no astro weather events on Sunday or Monday, the 8th or the 9th. On the 10th, Venus is going to sextile the North Node, trine the South Node. This is a check-in moment, right? She rules the South Node. This is her home of Libra. She's calling over to the South Node and saying, hey, how's it going? Are we cutting out, releasing, and letting go of people, relationships, opinions that no longer serve us? Are we getting rid of codependency once and for all in our relationships and with finances and in creative projects? Good. And I'm checking in with the North Node. Eyes on the prize. The North Node is the North Star of me, myself, and I. So maybe last week you went on that romantic date. Maybe you did something unconventional in your relationship. This is a check-in moment to make sure that those decisions weren't for somebody else, that they benefit you, that they meet your needs, wants, and desires. This is a check-in moment this week to make sure that our relationships are on track to serving us, that our finances are on track and we're prioritizing ourselves and not giving all of our money away for gifts or towards other people because we're afraid of their opinions and we're afraid of what they think of us. We're not giving away our power to creative projects, that we're really doing things that light our soul on fire and we're doing things that serve us. So that is a big check-in day. Also on that day, the sun is going to trine Chiron. The sun heats things up. It calls attention to and shines a spotlight upon Chiron, our wounds. Our wounds, what? In Aries, the wounds of my identity, the wounds of self, the wound of me not paying attention to what I need and putting my own oxygen mask on. This is happening side by side with Venus checking in with the North Node and the sun highlighting the pain points around that North Node. And so really a day to be paying attention to what you need, want, and desire, and everything that you value, your relationships, your finances, and your creative projects. The 11th, we get a break, but on the 12th, 12-12, Venus is going to officially oppose Mars. As you can see, she's very active this week. So this is a relationship-heavy week, a financial-heavy week, as we are adjusting and pivoting and making changes to prepare us for 2025. Mars is retrograde. So the masculine is taking a back seat. Venus is in full control. Venus in Aquarius, doing things in an unconventional way, detaching from relationships that don't serve, freeing yourself from things that are holding you back. And Mars is retrograde, saying, okay, let's strategize. Let's have a new game plan. Is this working? Isn't it working? And Leo, your joy, your pleasure, your fun. Are you able to have fun in relationships? Are you able to take your money and your resources and invest them in things that is pleasurable for you? Lots of questions coming up around that time. And then on the 13th, to end the week, we have Mercury sextile Venus. So we really have now the conversations necessary, the thoughts necessary to have the conversations in our relationships, to make the changes, to adjust, to pivot. Mercury comes in and says, well, maybe we need to change a perspective. Maybe we need to have another conversation. Maybe we need to listen to the opinion of our partner or our business collaborator or our friends. Maybe we need to understand and learn more about our finances or money or something in our life that we're working on. If it's a creative project, Mercury comes in and brings the ahas, the downloads, the inspirations. He's almost done with his retrograde. So this is where we're getting a lot more clarity. So this week, a lot of mental stuff, relational stuff, changes and pain points and wounds coming up to poke us and prod us and inflame us to see the problem here so we can put our mind to solving the problem. So this week is going to wrap up with that energy, and then we move into the third week of December. This week, we ramp up the energy again, a lot going on for us to navigate, and it really kickstarts with that new moon in Gemini. So let's break it down. The third week of December, what's in the stars from December 15th to December 21st. Sunday, we have the full moon in Gemini. This is going to activate where the sun and Mercury are in Sagittarius, and now the moon and Jupiter in Gemini. This cerebral, mental aspect, the higher mind, the lower conscious mind, the data and information we've collected along with our wisdom and experiences. And full moons are about releasing and letting go of Gemini, the old information, the old data, the old things that don't serve us. And Mercury comes out of retrograde on that day. So the Mercury retrograde might officially be over, but it doesn't give us the green light. It gives us the yellow light. Proceed with caution as we go through the post-shadow energy. Mercury will not be done with any of his retrograde stuff until January 2nd. So ultimately now what we need to pay attention to around that full moon is what do we need to release, what old narrative, what old belief, what old story, what old information that no longer serves the reality that we want to step into. Is your beliefs, the story you've been telling yourself about your finances, about your relationships, about your job, your career, your abilities, your talents, your skills, like anything in your life? Do we need to reprogram that with better thinking thoughts, things that feel better to create and manifest your reality? Gemini is words. Words are like magic wands, creating a spell for your life. Speak ill, get ill. Speak positive, receive benefits and blessings. That's the vibe of that full moon. We'll talk so much more about it. And we're getting a double dose of clarity. So I would not make any decisions on that day. There's still more to download and process. Now on the 18th, the sun is moving out of Sagittarius. It's at 27 degrees and it's going to square Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces. Now Jupiter rules Sagittarius, where the sun is, and Jupiter rules Pisces, where Neptune is. And so ultimately we have this Jupiter retrograde that's like gratitude, optimism, appreciating things, no new gifts, appreciate what you've been given, change your perspective, change your mindset, change your belief, right? And the sun is going to highlight and illuminate, and in a square to Neptune, now that he's out of retrograde, it's like dream, vision, exploration, expand your mind, see what's possible, make a new decision, have more confidence, shine a light upon what makes you unique. So this is definitely going to be a day where we're going to have to see life from that higher conscious perspective and very much trust and believe that the new reality we want to manifest is going to happen. And then on the 19th, Venus is going to trine Jupiter. Now, this is usually a good alignment where trines are beneficial aspects, and Venus and Jupiter are the benefics, the beautiful planets. Remember, Jupiter is given no gifts. Jupiter is retrograde. And so ultimately at this time, to benefit our relationships, to benefit our finances, to benefit our creative projects or anything that we value, even our material possessions, Jupiter says have gratitude for what you have. You don't need more. You need to look at it from a different perspective, a new program, a new software update that hopefully you've received during this Mercury retrograde. And so we're needing to think different thoughts around the things in our life that we value and we appreciate. And because of this, we can love it even more and beautiful things can happen for us. And then we end this week on the 21st with the sun moving into the zodiac energy of Capricorn. We kickstart the winter solstice energy, the darkest night of the year in the northern hemisphere and the brightest night of the year in the southern hemisphere. We have the sun now in Capricorn infusing and shining upon us, radiating the energy of success, achievement, commitment, discipline, goals, long-term success, long-term energy, building things up from the foundation with rules and structure. And so we now go into this season to prepare us for the end of the year, this Capricornian energy. You become the CEO of your life on this day. You decide what you want in your life, taking stock and inventory and planning for the new year and how you're going to move forward. Now, you're not going to feel like moving forward, like I keep mentioning, till Mars comes out of retrograde, and we have a lot going on with the eclipses. So really April is going to be go time, but this Capricorn season is really about making the strategic plan and getting committed and figuring out how you're going to take it step by step. And that's going to wrap up our third week of December. As you can see, lots going on. And then we get into the week of the actual holiday. We have some energy that's been brewing and potentizing. So the fourth week of December is not going to be any easier. We're really going to navigate a lot of challenging aspects that can make or break not only our own lives, but our relationships and the dynamics within those relationships. So let's break it down. What's in the stars from December 22nd till December 28th? We kickstart the week with the sun squaring the nodes. On the 23rd is the day where the sun in Capricorn is square the north node, square the south node, creating that T-square. And this is the official halfway point of the eclipse seasons. Halfway between the eclipses in the fall, halfway between the eclipses in the spring. So this is a checking in moment, major checking in. Squares, make decisions. Square, have you been making a decision to be in your main character energy? Have you been stepping into your needs, wants, and desires, paying attention to you, putting your own oxygen mask on? Have you been willing to release and let go of the worries and opinions of others? People-pleasing, codependency, relationships that don't serve, because we're halfway to the final eclipse season of Aries and Libra. The unique thing is the eclipse season of the fall had one new preview of the Pisces Virgo eclipses, and the spring eclipse cycle is going to end the old eclipse cycle of Aries and Libra. So we're in between the new and the old on both sides of the spring and the fall. So really checking in how on track you are. Remember, the North Node is finishing its journey here. By the time we have this bending of the nodes on the 23rd, we only have 3 more weeks of the North Node in Aries for another 19 years. Hopefully our eyes have been on that prize, and especially on the Aries area of our birth chart. Then on that day, we also have Venus sextile Chiron. Sextiles are supportive. Remember, Chiron is trying to heal wounds. So this could be a day where some of those financial wounds, relational wounds, creative projects that have been stuck, get this energy of healing. It feels like things might be working out. It feels like we're soothing the fire. It feels like there's this support of like these wounds have come up so that we could address them in our relationship. So we could heal them, so we could talk about them, so we could move forward, or so we could just decide, honestly, that it's just not working. And then next week, in 5 days, Venus is going to square Uranus. And then we're going to be moving forward one way or another. So pay attention to the wounds that are feeling like they're healing now. Then on the 24th, Jupiter is going to officially square Saturn. Big energy that is repeating itself from the first square of Saturn and Jupiter around the full moon in Aquarius on August 19th. We're revisiting, we're circling back, we're reassessing. Remember, Saturn says, no, hold up, stop, obstacle, challenge, boundary, roadblock. Jupiter is like, well, I'm not expanding. I'm going back. I'm trying to find more gratitude. I'm trying to appreciate life. I'm trying to see things from a higher perspective. And if we're doing that, Saturn's like, great. If not, he's going to cross-check you. If you want more, if you're trying to expand, if you're overindulging, if you're doing too much, Saturn might hold you back, slow you down in some way. And this energy is going to repeat itself a third and final time into 2025. That ripple of that full moon that I mentioned back in August is going to keep happening. We're still feeling the effects of it. Then we get to the 26th, where we have the third and final opposition of Mercury and Jupiter. This is where we can get some resolution. Pay attention, because around the holidays, there might be a lot of conversations. People are sharing their opinions. People are talking about things, and you maybe are thinking different, acting differently, sharing differently, and that can ruffle some feathers. Like I mentioned in the top 5 transits, one of the transits I know that will be impacting our relationships is really around the fact that we're going to be thinking different, having different beliefs, having different perspectives. And the people that maybe we related to because we had similar beliefs, all of a sudden it's like, wait, what? You think what? Wait a second. What does that mean? Like, are you still the same person? And so around the holidays, a lot of people's narratives and conversations could shift. But this is also the beautiful moment where our narrative shifts, our stories, our beliefs, our own mind feels lighter. We feel like we've come to some sort of clarity and conclusion. And now we're able to move forward with our life because we're thinking better thinking thoughts. On the 27th, baked into this energy, Mercury is going to square Saturn, right? So if we have not learned any lessons that we're still struggling with, releasing old programming, old narratives, old beliefs, limiting beliefs, things that are holding us back, we might get a check-in moment. Or there might be a conversation that's had with someone that makes us realize that we need to change our tone, change our language, change the way in which we express and communicate. There might be a lot of no's, a lot of blocks, a lot of negotiations at the end of the year you're trying to make happen, but they're not happening. So just pay attention to that energy. And on the 28th, as we end this week, that's where we're going to have that Venus-Uranus final square that we were talking about. This is where our relationships, our finances, our creative projects have to take a turn, make a decision. Are we in? Are we out? Are we doing it in an unconventional way? Does this serve me? Is this good for the collective, for both of us? Should we break up? Should we stay together? You might also get a very unexpected surprise, someone coming into your life that's very unconventional, maybe even a check or some sort of financial thing that takes you by surprise. So it's not necessarily bad, could be good, but there's something shifting on that day in a Venusian area of your life. And that is how we end the 4th week of December, moving out of the holidays, getting ready for the new year. As we move into the final few days of December, we have astro weather events for the last few days, back to back, getting ready for that new moon and the new year energy. So let's get into it. What's in the stars for the final few days of December, from December 29th till December 31st. We kickstart on the 29th on Sunday, where Chiron officially goes direct in the zodiac energy of Aries. The wounds hopefully have been healed. We've processed a lot of things, and now we can move forward, focus on other things. We can help heal other people with our experience, our wisdom, our knowledge that's been coming up over and over again since Chiron entered into his retrograde. The wounds hopefully have been healed. We've processed a lot of things, and now we can move forward, focus on other things. We can help heal other people with our experience, our wisdom, our knowledge that's been coming up over and over again since Chiron entered into his retrograde. Make sure that you go to your astrology alchemy journal and fill out the journal prompts for that Chiron retrograde, that third and final time. Remembering in your journal, you are to fill out those journal prompts 3 times for each of the retrogrades: when the retrograde begins, halfway through the middle of the retrograde, and then again when the retrograde is over. In the 2025 edition, we've updated it so each retrograde page has the midpoint of each retrograde, so you know when to revisit it, and also to go back and fill out those journal prompts. You will see how much you've grown, how much you've been able to reflect and move forward from the first time you answered that journal prompt. Then on the 30th, we have the official new moon in Capricorn. This is happening at 9 degrees of Capricorn, our intention setting moon, our goal setting moon, our vision planning, vision boarding, manifesting, goal setting energy. Love it. We'll break so much more of that down. This is really giving you the checklist and making those commitments and setting those intentions that will last you all through 2025. On the 31st, we end the year, we end the month with 2 final astro weather events, both of them very exciting. The first one is Pluto sextiling the North Node, a supportive energy, working together, fusing their sexiness together, and trining the South Node, where Pluto says power, surge, stepping in, transforming towards the North Node, your identity, your rebrand, your needs, your wants, your desires, putting your oxygen mask on. It's time. This is baked into the solar energy of the 2025 year. So we are moving forward in a big way, and we're releasing and letting go of what doesn't serve. And then on the same day, Mercury is going to trine Chiron that third and final time. The pain points, the wounds, the memories, the information, the data, all of that in our mind that's been causing our own pain because of the story we're telling ourselves, what we're allowing ourselves to convince ourselves that isn't true, is being healed. We might be having a conversation with someone where it's like we're saying, I'm sorry. They're saying, I'm sorry to us. We're repairing things, like we're soothing the fire. We're putting it out once and for all. We're negotiating. We're having beautiful, harmonious conversations again that leads us into the new year. And that's it. That is how we are ending December. As you can see, there is lots of retrograde energy, lots of shifts, 3 lunations, on and on and on. If this video is overwhelming and you're like, I don't know what you said, I want more information, want to take it day by day, step by step, that is what our Astro Weather Telegram channel is for. You're only going to get the information relevant for that day. Going to help you navigate it. You'll just open your phone, listen to the voice memo that I send over every morning, how you're going to move through the day, how it might impact your relationships. Of course, during the new and the full moons, we do rituals, we gather together on Zoom, and so much more to help you understand your chart and the chart of the people around you. So we'd love to have you join. Little reminder, when the nodes shift on 111, the 7-day free subscription is going to end, and you're going to have to commit to joining us. So if you want to get in, explore, see what's going on, we have archived all the education, all the training since the astrological new year in March. Then come join us, take advantage of that. If you've made it thus far in the video, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I hope December treats you well. I hope that the new year is so exciting for you. I cannot wait to walk through it with you, transit by transit here on this YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Let me know you were here in the comments below. Sending you so much love and light for the month ahead. And let's dive into the rising sign forecast. My Aries risings, your primary life coach Mars is going retrograde this month. And so while you like to move fast, get in the left lane, do the most, you're going to feel your vitality, your chi, your stamina starting to sink this month. But it's okay. It's time to get off the highway, slow down, rest a little bit, and strategize where you're going to run ahead to in 2025. Of course, there's a lot to come in your first house of Aries, your identity, your rebirth, your rebranding as Saturn and Neptune jump in the year ahead. So lots to explore, lots to dive into as we wrap up the final month of 2024 and plan for the year ahead. So you grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in. So let's start out with the new moon in Sagittarius, which is kickstarting the month on the 1st. This is happening in your 9th house. This is going to be your new moon of the year to set new intentions around anywhere you want to travel, going on vacation, trying out new things, getting out of your comfort zone, maybe even creating a bucket list of adventures in your local area or even faraway places. This is a new moon to set those intentions, but do remember Mercury is retrograde at this time, also in your 9th house. So there's some sort of reflection going back to your lived experiences. What kind of wisdom and knowledge have you gained thus far on your journey? There's some revisiting mentally that you have to do. And of course, it's a time with this Mercury retrograde in your 9th house to reprogram some of your belief systems, your viewpoints, your philosophy. I'm not going to go too much into Mercury in our forecast today because you can go back and watch the entire Mercury retrograde video, but just know the 9th house area of your life is super activated. This is where your mind is going to be for pretty much the rest of the month, as Mercury is going to be here all the way until January 9th. So really reflecting back as to what have you learned? What kind of information have you gathered? What are your lived experiences? And what do you still want to accomplish? Where do you want to go? What kind of exploration is still ahead of you? So this is a great way to set your intentions for the new year, is having that bucket list and knowing where you want to travel and explore as the sun goes through the zodiac energy of Sagittarius. Now, when we get to the 21st, we are going to have the sun moving into your 10th house for Capricorn sun season. That is where Venus is at the beginning of the month as well. Your 10th house is your career, your professional life, your reputation, your purpose, your mission, your legacy. How do people know you? What do they call you? What is your title? When the sun enters that area on the winter solstice on the 21st, and we will have a new moon there ending the month on the 30th. It is your opportunity to really look and reflect at your career. Do you like your job? Do you like your position? Do you like your title? Do you want to switch industries? That new moon in Capricorn for the end of the year
on the 30th, setting your intentions, your goals, your dreams. What are you going to accomplish? Making tangible step-by-step plans to get to where you want to go in 2025. And this is really going to be around your career sector. So entering the new year, the new season, if you want to apply to new jobs, you want to set up interviews, you want to get some sort of promotion, it's going to be that time to really focus in on that career area. Now, right now, as we start out the month, we have Venus there. Venus attracts and magnetizes. So you may get some opportunities for a promotion. Maybe things are really working out in your industry. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're attracting in clients, or you're up leveling somehow, some way in your career sector. Venus on the 6th is going to move into the zodiac energy of Aquarius, where she will magnetize and attract your area of life, of your friendship, your tribe, your community. And also, she's going to help you look at your future, your dreams, your wishes, your hopes, as Venus will move into your 11th house all the way through the rest of December. Now, in the middle of the month, on the 15th, when Mercury comes out of retrograde in your 9th house, we're going to have the full moon in Gemini. That is going to put the full moon highlighting and illuminating your 3rd house. This is your area of your mind, communication, speaking, expressing, your social media, transportation. What is holding you back from sharing your message? What kind of information or data have you collected thus far that isn't applicable anymore? So all the lunations this month are really going to be asking you to revisit, to reanalyze, reassess, so you can let go of the mental information that doesn't serve you. The example I gave earlier in the overview is, for example, you went to school 20 years ago for marketing. Well, that data and that information doesn't necessarily apply to the modern 2024 era. So going back and just reflecting on what you already know, what do you still need to learn, how do you want to expand your mind in all sorts of different ways as we go through the month. Now, remember, we do have Mars retrograde as well, officially kicking off on the 7th. When Mars goes retrograde, he is going from your 5th house of fun, creativity, passion projects, any of these things that maybe you've invested some of your energy in for the first few days of December, or even taking time to spend with your children. And as Mars starts retrograding and going backwards, it's going to be some reflection, strategizing, and game planning. Maybe it's a work project, maybe it's a passion project, maybe it's something you've been wanting to bring to life, like creating a podcast or writing a book, or maybe you're wanting to do a renovation project or restore something in your home. Mars is going to say, okay, let's go back. Let's go to the drawing board. How are we strategically going to bring this thing to life? And what do we want it to look like when that happens? So this Mars retrograde is really revisiting the energy that you've been putting into your 5th house spaces, also looking at any kind of hobbies that maybe you have gone back on and you want to pick back up again and invest your time and energy in. So definitely knowing that Mars is retrograde. Now, for all of us, like I mentioned in the overview, this is going to be a time where you're going to feel a little less energized. Mars is your primary life coach, so you're going to feel less vital, less enthusiastic, less motivated, and that's okay. You're meant to end the year with a lot of mental reflection, game planning, and strategizing for what you want in the upcoming year. Again, don't forget, Saturn is now officially out of retrograde, serving you rewards and punishments in your 12th house based on the lessons that you learned while he was retrograde. So making sure you are staying committed and disciplined to your spiritual practice, your energetic health and hygiene, your mental health, working on any kind of mental blocks, mental reprogramming, limiting beliefs. It truly is a very mental month for you as you're figuring out what you want, who you are, what you believe, and so much more. This is also the final month of the North Node in your 1st house. So really focusing on yourself, your identity, who you want to be, your needs, your wants, your desires. So keep focusing that energy on yourself, and also letting go of relationships as the South Node leaves your 7th house next month, cutting out any kind of relationships that don't serve you anymore. Of course, there's going to be so much more that is going on in the month of December. This is a good overview so you know what areas of your life are being impacted and how they are. And of course, doing one-on-one sessions is going to be way more accurate. as we can dive into your personal birth chart and see what is super important for you to know, especially as we dive into 2025. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecasts here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Taurus risings, your primary life coach of Venus, is very active this month, where she is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, running into Pluto, squaring Uranus, bringing massive changes to different areas of your life. Of course, your anchor houses are all being activated. Your first house of yourself and your identity with Uranus there. Your seventh house, where we just had Scorpio sun season of relationships changing. Your fourth house of home and family. Your 10th house of career. These are all major areas of your life and they're all being impacted and everything in between. So lots to discuss for you as we end 2024 with this final month and prepare you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
Let's kick it off, and starting where the sun is with the new moon in Sagittarius on the first day of this month. With the new moon in Sagittarius in your 8th house, this is a time for you to set intentions, new beginnings, figure out the path that you want to journey and adventure on around your money, your income, the money you share with other people, debts, loans, taxes, inheritances, all the uncomfortable things in life. It is time to move forward and set some intentions. So for example, maybe you set an intention to try to apply for a loan because you want to buy a house, or you want to set an intention to pay off a debt or loan. Or maybe you want to set an intention to get your taxes done earlier, hire a CPA, or maybe have that tough conversation with your significant other around joint finances. This is also your area of life of intimacy, your ability to be vulnerable, any kind of fears that you're needing to process, and of course, your sex life. Now, with Mercury retrograde here as well, your mind is thinking about these topics, spending an extra amount of time here in 2024, and remembering you're supposed to review and go back. So I'm not going to go too much into Mercury in this video or Jupiter, because you can go back and watch the Mercury retrograde and the Jupiter retrograde video to really really get a good idea of what is going on in your financial sectors. But know that we have the new moon there for you to set new intentions in your 8th house, and the full moon in Gemini on the 15th, where you are going to highlight and illuminate your 2nd house of income. That full moon in Gemini is your money full moon of the year. So looking at what do you need to release and let go in your budget, income streams, material possessions, things that don't serve you and that you don't value anymore. So really looking at the things that you can cut out so that you can make more money and attract more of it to you. And the sun is going to be in your 8th house, really helping you highlight that access. Now, the sun is going to move into the zodiac energy of Capricorn on the 21st, the winter solstice. And that means the sun is going to highlight and shine a spotlight upon your 9th house. So as we end the year, Capricorn sun season with a new moon in Capricorn on the 30th. It is setting intentions. It is focusing your light, your energy, your vitality for the last 10 days of December on your 9th house. So where do you want to travel? Where do you want to adventure in the new year? What kind of goals do you still want to accomplish? What kind of wisdom do you want to gain? Getting out of your comfort zone, trying out new things, changing your beliefs, maybe hiring a mentor, going back to school. There's some sort of higher education, higher wisdom, higher knowledge that you are meant to experience in the upcoming year. And of course, setting some goals around where you want to travel. What do you want to check off your bucket list in 2025, my Taurus rising? And of course, as we kickstart the month, Venus is already here, trying to magnetize and make your mind feel more beautiful and abundant and prosperous. She is going to move into your 10th house of career on the 7th of this month. So most of December, Venus will be magnetizing and attracting beautiful things into your 10th house. So this is promotions, job opportunities, changing your title, changing industries, attracting clients to you, status, maybe your reputation, maybe an opportunity to share more about your profession, your mission, your purpose, your legacy. So Venus is definitely going to beautify up and make your career area of life feel more pleasurable as she journeys through here most of the month. Now, also we have Mars retrograde. Don't forget, Mars is going to be retrograding in your 4th house of home and family. This is important to note because Mars helps you exert energy, put effort forward. And as we start out the month for the first 7 days, investing your energy in your home, your family, renovating, looking at projects around the home, exerting your energy outward. However, on the 7th, Mars will then go retrograde and have you going back and strategizing over this area of life, making a game plan. Do you want to stay in your home? Do you want to move home? Do you want to renovate your home? Are there any projects to do around the home? Is there any kind of tasks that need to get done? Any chores? And looking at that long term. Mars has not been in your area of home and family in 2 years, and he will come back and revisit it after his retrograde once we get to April. So you may actually have a move in store or something around property or real estate that is changing that you're going to have to put your energy into and towards once we get to April and May of 2025. So this is an area of life where right now you're kind of being strategic and you're working it out, and you will circle back to invest the rest of your energy here. Now, also we have Saturn squaring the Sun and Jupiter and Mercury from your 11th house. So just pay attention to any kind of lessons as Lord Karma is now direct, serving the rewards and punishments of his retrograde in your 11th house of community and tribe. So this could be an area of life now that is going to pick up with challenges and obstacles. Maybe it's hard to connect with people, get with a community, things aren't working out, you're not spending as much time with friends. And also there could be some challenges coming up to the future and dreams and goals and wishes that you had for your life, and now they're fading away, or there's all these challenges and it seems really hard to move forward when it comes to your future. But again, Saturn is just teaching you lessons, and this is also the area of life that is going to be very heavily activated in the first quarter of 2025. But we'll talk more about that later. And of course, this is the final month with the North Node and Chiron in your 12th house. And next month, the North Node will move into your 11th house. So this is your final month for eyes on the prize, focusing your energy, focusing your attention on your 12th house. So your mental health, your limiting beliefs, any kind of emotional things that are unprocessed that need to be processed through breath work or therapy or Reiki or sound healing. This is energetic healing as well, past life regression, processing dreams, everything on the subconscious and unconscious level needs a little bit more attention for this final month of the North Node here. And remember, releasing and letting go of any habits with the South Node in your 6th house. needs to be cut out of your life. Anything that doesn't create balance or harmony, anything that is disrupting your sleep, your work schedule, getting rid of anything in your sixth house of health and wellness as the South Node is clearing it out for the final month. And that is the gist. Of course, there is so much more going on in December. So make sure you go back and listen to the timestamp for your primary life coach, which is Venus, to know exactly what Venus is up to this month. She is going to meet up with Pluto. She is going to be opposite Mars. She's going to be doing a lot of other things. And remember, she rules you. She rules your chart. So whatever Venus is up to is going to impact you the most. So go listen to that timestamp for sure. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecasts here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Gemini risings, your primary life coach Mercury is retrograde this month. And although that is nothing new for you, you know how to navigate it. It is going to be very pivotal in December because not only is Mercury retrograde, but he's up to a whole lot, having so many conversations with Jupiter and Saturn and Chiron and other planets like the sun, the full moon in Gemini, activating your first house of yourself and your identity and your relationship sector of Sagittarius, so heavily activated this month. So as your relational astrologer, I'm excited to navigate this energy with you, break it all down as we wrap up 2024, the final month, and prepare you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'm going to pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
Let's kickstart and talk about the new moon in Sagittarius that we are kicking off the month with. This new moon in Sagittarius is in your 7th house of relationships. This is a very relationship focused month for you, Gemini risings. The new moon is going to highlight and give you an opportunity to set intentions around the people you want to attract in 2025 to be in partnership with. This is going to be romantic, friendship, business, any kind of deep, intimate relationships in your life where you want to connect your energy to, calling it in, setting those intentions under the new moon right on the 1st of the month. And of course, remember, we are in Sun Sagittarius season. So right now is the time for you until we get to the winter solstice on the 21st for you to shine your light, your spotlight, your energy, your heat, your vitality into your relationships. So make sure you nurture them this month. Remember, Mercury is also retrograde here, spending an extra amount of time time. And I'm not in this video going to talk too much about Mercury or Jupiter because you can go watch those separate videos where I deep dive for you. But Mercury is going to be retrograding. So really going back and reviewing conversations, reconnecting, chit-chatting about things with people you are in partnership with. So just a lot of your mind and a lot of your communication and connection around your deep, intimate partnerships this month. On the 15th, we're going to have that full moon in Gemini, highlighting your relationship to yourself, how you need to release and let go of old versions, old identities, maybe even old clothes that don't serve you. Maybe you decide to change something with your image, your appearance, your social media. This is your full moon of the year. That is your relational full moon. So really, how are you relating to other people, and how are other people seeing you and viewing you? So definitely relationship oriented this month. Saturn is squaring this energy. Remember, Lord Karma is out of retrograde. He is fast forward now in your 10th house of career, serving you the rewards and punishments based on how well you learned his lessons during his retrograde. So if any challenges or obstacles come up in your 10th house of your career, your purpose, your mission, your legacy, your title, your professional life, it's because Saturn is back on track with teaching you lessons and throwing you curveballs. He wants to make sure that you know where you want to go, what are you committed and disciplined to, and where are you going to anchor your foundation in this career area of life. You don't need to make a decision yet. Saturn throws you obstacles so you can figure out what it is you actually want to commit to. And there could be some sort of tension that comes up around, again, those relationships in your life as Saturn is influencing your changing of mind, changing of beliefs, changing of identity, having these conversations in your partnership. So just be aware of all of that. Now, remember, Mercury is your primary life coach. So definitely go back and listen to the Mercury timestamp in the planet by planet breakdown, where I talk a lot more about exactly what Mercury is up to this month and making sure you kind of have those dates in mind as he impacts you the most. Now, Venus, on the other hand, this month is entering in your zodiac sign, the 8th house, your zodiac energy of Capricorn. And so this is attracting and magnetizing possibly opportunities, financial abundance, financial beauty that comes in from clients. Maybe your partner is doing well financially right now. Venus entered in your 8th house on 11/11, but she is leaving on the 7th of December. She will spend the rest of the month magnetizing, attracting, and making your 9th house space beautiful. So maybe there's opportunities that come in to travel, to go on a retreat, for higher education, to learn new things, to have a mentor. There's a lot of beauty that you are going to work on making this area of your life feel pleasurable. So again, this might be signing up for programs or classes, taking a course, publishing something, finding a mentor, someone that really aligns with you. So pay attention to that 9th house space for the rest of the year, for the rest of the month, as Venus is going to beautify it. But opposite in the sky, we do have Mars. Remember, he is going retrograde in your 3rd house. So this is very much about you exerting energy outward on how you are projecting, communicating, socializing, educating, teaching. What are you teaching? Do you still want to teach that for the long haul? Strategizing and game planning, because on the 7th, Mars is now going to go retrograde. When he retrogrades through your 3rd house for the rest of December, he is asking you to strategize and game plan your message. How are you speaking, expressing, and communicating? What are you talking about? What are you supposed to be communicating? What are you learning? Do you really want to learn that? See, you can tell this month there is a lot of focus with Mars retrograding in your 3rd house of your mind and Venus entering and wanting to make your higher conscious mind more beautiful. There's an opportunity for you right now to have more wisdom, knowledge, experiences, but you only get that by living those experiences, by apprenticeships, by going out and doing. And Mars is strategizing for you and saying, well, how much more data do we actually need? Or do we just need to start living and going to do the things that are going to give us more data points? So there is a very mental focus to this month for you, along with the relationship focus. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is that the North Node is in your 11th house of Aries, and it's the final month. So focusing your eyes on your prize, on your community with the North Node in your 11th house, your tribe, who you connect with, who you vibe with, going out and networking with people, meeting up with new people, or just kind of focusing in on Maybe your position in your tribe. Do you need to lead a tribe? What is going on with your friendship group? We have the final month of the North Node here. And remember, you are releasing and letting go in your 5th house with the Libra South Node for one more month as well. And this is letting go of things that are holding you back from pleasure and joy, nurturing your inner child. You are taking away, vacuuming off with the South Node any blocks in your 5th house space. And the nodes will shift on 1/1/1, the 11th of January. So you have your final moments of the North Node Aries in your 11th house and the South Node Libra in your 5th house. And then we will end this month with a new moon in Capricorn, setting intentions, figuring out what you want for your new year, planning things. And remember, Capricorn is your 8th house. So that is going to be your area of life, again, of setting intentions. What do you want for the new year around any kind of financial situations, debts or loans that you want to pay off, setting intentions around any loans that maybe you do want to take out that could benefit you, investments, doing your wills, doing inheritances, any of those taboo topics. We're going to set intentions to make them happen. Check them off your list, goal set around the 8th house at that new moon in Capricorn to end not only December, but end 2024. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Cancer risings, we have 3 lunations this month, and you are ruled by the moon, so this is so important for you. In our month ahead forecast, we usually only talk about 1 new moon and 1 full moon, but this month, 3 lunations, 2 new moons, and 1 full moon to discuss that will heavily impact you. And of course, your first house of Cancer is going to have Mars circling back for a majority of the first half of 2025. You also have some of the pivotal areas of your life, your 4th house of home and family and your 10th house of career being activated with the nodes this month with Chiron. So lots to discuss, lots to break down as we end 2024 with this final month and prepare you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
Let's kick off with talking about the sun and the new moon in Sagittarius as we kickstart the month on the first of the month. This is happening in your 6th house of health and wellness, the perfect new moon of the year for you to set intentions around your overall well-being, your work-life balance, your sleep schedule, setting intentions to start a workout program, a new supplement routine, a new diet. This is really your season with the sun in Sagittarius in your 6th house to focus your light, your energy, and your attention on your health, your wellness, your habits, the mundane aspects of life that overall keep you well. So this is your health sun season of the year until we get to the 21st when the sun on the winter solstice goes into your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So from the 21st until the end of December, you will then shine your sun, your spotlight over on the relationship sector, into your friendships, your marriage partners, your significant others, your business partners, your clients, all of those people that you blend and merge your energy with. It will be your relationship sun season once we get into Capricorn. And of course, don't forget, we are going to have that Capricorn new moon at the end of the year on the 30th. So you can set your intentions of what do you want to call in 2025 in the relationship sector of your life. Do you want to meet a new partner? Do you want to collaborate with certain business owners? Do you want to attract more clients into your life? Do you want to make new friends? What kind of relationships do you want to build upon, grow upon, and manifest into your life in the new year? That is the time to set those intentions at the new moon in Capricorn. And of course, I'll be back with an entire video to talk more about that. But let's go back into your 6th house and the 6th house space. Mercury is retrograding. I'm not going to talk a lot about Mercury or Jupiter in today's reading because I have entire videos on that for you where you can deep dive a little bit more. But just know that your mind is really meant to be focusing right now on that health house, how to bring more wellness and vitality in your life. And the obstacles to all of that is from Saturn over in your 9th house. We can see Saturn T-squaring Jupiter and Mercury. And of course, the full moon in Gemini, which we will have on the 15th. With the full moon in Gemini, it's going to highlight and illuminate your 12th house, which is also a health area of life, but it's your health that is on the energetic, emotional, and mental plane. So making sure your energetic body, your chakras, your auras are all cleared, cleansed, purified. Your energy is very healthy. Also your mental health, limiting beliefs, subconscious programming, fears, stories you're telling yourself, and your emotions, old emotions being cleansed and purged at that full moon, releasing and letting go. It is your full moon of the year on the 15th, the full moon in Gemini, to let it all go so that you have more wellness and vitality. And Saturn in your 9th house, Lord Karma, out of retrograde, blessing or punishing you based on how well you learned his lessons. He is now going to throw you obstacles again, challenges to your health and wellness, to shake you awake, to remind you to stay committed and disciplined, and maybe possibly even hiring a coach or mentor or someone who has more wisdom and knowledge and experience on the health challenges or the health goals that you are trying to set intentions around and accomplish in your lifetime. So maybe you need to change your perspective or zoom out a little bit or have someone guide you or mentoring you. So pay attention to what Saturn is teaching you around your health as he is T-squaring and challenging this area of your life. Now, we also know with the new moon and the full moon, you are ruled by the moon. So make sure you come back and watch each of those videos as we're going to deep dive specifically this month into all 3 lunations. So you're definitely going to have a very lunar month ahead with 3 lunations in one calendar month. That second one on the 30th is the dark moon, the black moon of the year. So really setting those intentions for the new year will be important. Now, Venus this month, as we start out December until the 7th of December, has been hopefully beautifying, making your relationships more pleasurable. But on the 7th, she is going to jump right into your 8th house, which is the taboo house. When Venus enters into your 8th house, you're not going to be able to beautify, magnetize, attract opportunities that are going to help you in this area of life. So this might be improving your sex life, your intimacy, maybe helping you heal some fears or wounds, and also dealing with your money, income that is connected to other people. So Venus may be able to come in and help you attract opportunities to pay off debts and loans, or maybe even get a beautiful opportunity to take out a loan to buy something that you would really enjoy or like to have. maybe even beautifying or bringing some pleasure into your joint finances, money that you are tied or connected to with a business partner or marriage partner. Or this might also be an opportunity for you to attract in some sort of information around your wills, your taxes, your inheritances to beautify them up. The eighth house is a super uncomfortable space. So at least when Venus as a benefic and beautiful planet comes in, she can help tidy up and clean up this area of your life that is typically uncomfortable. And of course, we've got Mars going retrograde. Mars is where you exert your energy. It's where you focus your exertion, and that is in your money sector. So as we start out the month, this could be a time for you until the 7th to kickstart your budget, cutting things out, strategizing and game planning what you want to spend your money on. Also putting some effort into maybe creating a second stream of income or up leveling your income in some way. But don't forget, after the 7th, Mars is going to retrograde. So for all of us, we're going to feel less energy, less chi, less vitality. That is going to be normal as we end this year. But of course, Mars is saying, let's course correct. Let's go back and make sure how we're making money, how we're spending money, how we're budgeting our money, what we know about our money, the things that we're buying with our money. Let's make sure this is really a part of the plan. Let's make sure this is actually what we want. You've not had Mars making decisions and moving your income sector of life like in the left lane fast forward in 2 years. So he's here now to help you move forward and accelerate the speed. Now, as he's retrograding, he will come back. He's like, put a pin in it. I'm going to go back into the first house and help you glow up and invest your energy in yourself and your physical body. But he'll be back in your money sector when we get into April and May of 2025. And then this month, the last thing to highlight is we have the final month of the North Node in your 10th house of career. So all the change that has been coming in the career area of your life that's been going on for the last year and a half is coming to a close. So any kind of final opportunities or growth or expansion in your career sector may happen before 1/1/1, January 11th, as the North Node moves through here one last final month. And the South Node is releasing, removing, letting go, vacuuming off, if you will, anything from your 4th house of home and family that doesn't serve. So maybe it's officially moving out of your home, or a renovation project comes to a close, or maybe there's just a change in a family dynamic and you move on and move forward, as the nodes will shift in January. And we'll talk so much more about that then. So don't forget to not only go back and listen to your timestamp for the moon in today's video, but subscribe and come back specifically to the new moon in Sagittarius video, the new moon in Capricorn, and the full moon in Gemini.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Leo risings, you have so much fire in the sky this month with Mars retrograding in your first house, your sister sign of Sagittarius heavily activated with the sun, the new moon, the Mercury retrograde, and Aries, where Chiron is ending his retrograde, and the North Node bopping and talking to some of the other planets. So lots of fire in the sky for you to navigate. You are ruled by the sun, so we are entering the month with Sagittarius sun season, making you feel more optimistic and joyful and expansive. And then the sun moving from the darkest night of the year into Capricorn energy, where you now get to goal set and focus in on the Capricorn area of your chart. Your anchor houses are also heavily activated with Pluto in your 7th house of relationships for the next 20 years. And of course, Uranus shaking up and liberating your career sector of life. So much to discuss, so much going on for you as we end 2024 with this final month and preparing you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'm going to pull up the charts here. Let's get into it.
Let's start out with the new moon in Sagittarius as we kick off the month in Sagittarius sun season. This is highlighting, illuminating, shining a spotlight upon your 5th house, which is the fun house, my Leo risings. This is definitely your sister sign, your sister energy of tapping into creativity, fun, pleasure, joy, play, romance, entrepreneurship. You get to set intentions around all of these areas of your life at that new moon. And remember to keep shining your light, your spotlight on this area, spending time with your children, working on a creative project, and participating in some hobbies or play or entertainment, going to a concert, going to a show, working on some sort of entrepreneurial project, or if you're single, going out on a couple dates as the sun is going to journey through this area of your chart until the 21st of the month. When we get to the 21st of the month, we have the winter solstice and the sun will shift over into your 6th house of health and wellness. So as we wrap up not only December, but 2024 in Capricorn sun season and a new moon in Capricorn on the 30th as we end the year, it is going to be a time for you to set intentions and shine your energy into your daily life, your daily habits, your work-life balance, your sleep schedule, your supplements, your diet, your workout routines. What do you do on a day-to-day that keeps you well and vital? It's going to be your season as we end the month and setting intentions around that, tangible, practical goals that you can set to improve and achieve all that you desire around your physical health and well-being. Now, also this month, we've got Mercury retrograding in your 5th house, and we're not going to talk too much about Mercury or Jupiter in this video because I have entire videos on those two planets and their retrograde journey for you to binge and listen to, so go do that after this one. But just know that your mind, Mercury, is going to be spending an extra amount of time analyzing and assessing and conversating and learning about a creative project you're maybe working on, and you're getting more information about it, maybe talking with your children, having conversations with your children, or a lot of chit chat with work and entrepreneurship if you're in that position. Now, of course, Saturn is also out of retrograde now officially. He is Lord Karma, so he will reward or punish you in the 8th house depending on how well you learned his lessons during his retrograde. And Saturn is teaching you lessons right now about income, finances, tied and connected to other people. So connected to banks, connected to your romantic partner or business partners. So Saturn might be throwing you some obstacles at the end of this year. Taxes, wills, loans, inheritances, debts, all these things may be coming up because Saturn wants to make sure you're very committed and disciplined as he journeys through your 8th house. And this may come up and challenge, see the T square here, to your 5th house. So challenges with creative projects, challenges with your children, challenges with having fun and joy and pleasure and spending your money on things that you like to do. And it may also challenge you when it comes to community, friendship, and tribe. So maybe there is some things going on here where maybe you aren't spending as much money on gifts for your friends or your community. Maybe you don't feel as called to go out to networking events because money is tight or bills are popping up. So this could definitely be a financial thing that is impacting your friendships and definitely impacting your children for the month of December. So just pay attention to that. Again, I dive way more into that in the Mercury and the Jupiter retrograde videos. Now let's talk about Venus. Venus, as we start out the month, is in your 6th house. So she's been already setting the stage to make your health house a little bit more beautiful and pleasurable, maybe helping you feel a little bit better, feel more motivated about going to the gym, or deciding that you want to improve your sleep so that you feel more beautiful. You get that beauty rest every single night. So Venus has been setting the stage. However, on the 7th, she is going to officially move into the zodiac energy of Aquarius. When she gets into Aquarius, she is now going to beautify your relationships, bring more pleasure into your relationships, or even possibly attract and magnetize new potential partnerships in your life, whether that's business, romantic, friendship, etc. So that is going to be a beautiful season for you. Now we have Mars on the other side, however, going retrograde. And Mars will kick off his retrograde on the 7th of the month and retrograde for all of December in your 1st house. Mars is the planet that says, hey, over here for this season, you're going to exert your energy. You're going to put in effort here. We're going to change it. We're going to get in the left lane and move this area of life forward. However, with a retrograde, it's about course correcting, strategizing, game planning, making sure that this area of life is really going down a path that you choose to go down. With Mars retrograding in your 1st house, you are definitely going to feel less chi, less vitality, less energy, less stamina. So honor that as we move through the rest of December. It's a season for you to go inward and really reflect, do I like the way that I am using my physical body? Or do I need to go to the gym? Do I need to change something about my physical body? Do I need to change something about my appearance to magnetize and attract people to me? Do I need to cut my hair? Do I need to pay more attention to my wardrobe and my look and my appearance? Do I need to adjust my social media presence? What is that identity that you are pushing outwards? Mars is saying, let's strategize a little bit and make sure the way we're projecting ourselves is how we actually want to be seen. And then you will put a pin in it when we get into January, because he is circling all the way back from his retrograde, and he will eventually come back into your 1st house, where you get to enact the game plan in April and May of 2025. Now, the final thing that we're going to talk about is this is the last month with the North Node journeying through your 9th house. So make sure you keep your eyes on the prize, focusing in on experiences. The 9th house is your street smarts, the wisdom that you gain by living life, exploring, adventuring, going on trips, traveling to other places. So there are some opportunities that may come in for you to do some of that before 1/1/1, January 11th, where the North Node will leave your 9th house and officially enter into your 8th house for a year and a half. On the flip side, we have the Libra South Node in your 3rd house for one final month as well, removing, releasing, letting go, pulling anything off of you that doesn't serve when it comes to your mind. Stories you're telling yourself, the information and data you've gathered thus far in your life may no longer apply. So there's some mental shifts definitely going on with the final month of the North and the South Node in your mental and higher conscious areas of life. So with that, there's of course so much more that we could dive into. Make sure you go back and listen to the timestamp for the sun, as the sun is your primary life coach, and I give you a little bit more details of what the sun is up to this month, date by date. So go hit that timestamp for the sun, and then go check out the Mercury and Jupiter retrograde videos for more details. That will give you more clues on what is going on in your chart and in your life for the month of December. Definitely check out the overview. That will help you have the best relationships, because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I want to send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Virgo risings, you are ruled by Mercury, so your primary life coach is retrograde this month. And although you are so used to this energy, it is a little different this time around because he is so active, having so many conversations with the other planets that are dancing all over your chart in many different areas of your life. If you have any travel plans for the holidays or tests you have to take or contracts or negotiations you have to sign, make sure you double, triple check, crossing those T's, dotting those I's. I know you're used to it, my Virgo risings. Also remembering that the Pisces area of your chart is your 7th house of relationships, heavily activated this month with Saturn out of retrograde, Neptune coming out of retrograde and preparing for the nodes to enter. So lots for us to discuss and break down as we wrap up this final month of 2024 for you and preparing you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
We are kicking off the month in Sagittarius sun season and with the new moon in Sagittarius right on the 1st. This is activating your 4th house of home and family, the perfect new moon to set new intentions around where you want to live, who you want to live with, renovation projects, DIY projects, ways to beautify your home and your spaces. And of course, this is also your area of life of family. So if you are wanting to gather with family, get together with family, or maybe even make some more friends that feel like family, this is the perfect new moon to set those intentions. Remember, as the sun is journeying through your 4th house until December 21st, it is also the time for you to shine your sun, your energy, your spotlight upon the 4th house area of your life. And then the sun on the 21st at the winter solstice is going to move into your 5th house, your fun house. So what a great way for you to end 2024 with the sun highlighting and illuminating your 5th house, which is creativity and passion projects, hobbies, play, games, entertainment, pleasure, romance, dating, or if you're an entrepreneur, even business. And of course, with the 5th house, we are going to have the new moon in Capricorn ending the month on the 30th. So you are going to be able to set intentions around your 5th house spaces. As we enter into the month, though, Venus is already there preparing for that new moon to set those intentions. She is attracting and magnifying and making your 5th house area of life more beautiful and pleasurable. So until the 7th, the first week of December, you have an opportunity to look at what do you do for fun? What brings you joy? If you're working on some sort of creative project, a great time with Venus traveling through your 5th house to put those little touches on it, to put that cherry on top. And of course, the 5th house rules your children, so maybe a great time to spend and connect with your children. On the 7th, though, Venus is going to move on into your 6th house of health and wellness. This is Aquarius. She's going to be a busy little bee as she dances through that area of your chart. So you can go back to the timestamp for Venus and see what she is up to as she is going to be traveling through your 6th house of health and wellness. So it is going to be an opportune time for you to attract and magnetize people and relationships to your life that benefit you when it comes to your diet, your workout, your supplement routines, your work-life balance, a health coach, a nutritionist, a personal trainer. If you're wanting to call in any of these people, Venus traveling through your 6th house is going to help and assist with that as well, and making your routines more pleasurable. So a great season for that as well. Now, remember, your primary life coach is Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde for most of the month. He is going to be staying in that 4th house area of home and family. I'm not going to talk too much about Mercury or Jupiter's retrograde in this video because I made an entire video breaking that all down for you. So definitely go check out the timestamp for Mercury and the planet by planet breakdown so you at least know what your primary life coach is up to this month. And then make sure you go watch that Mercury retrograde video for more details on how Mercury is trying to teach you a lesson during his retrograde at the beginning of this month. Then we see Saturn over here squaring Jupiter, squaring Sun, squaring Mercury, actively involved with the Gemini full moon happening on the 15th of the month. Saturn is putting a little stop on everything, a pause, and saying, hold on, wait a second. Are we doing what we need to do when it comes to our career, our 10th house, and our home and our family? And how are the relationships in our life supporting us or hindering us? Saturn is our tough love dad, and sometimes we have to make hard choices and hard decisions. And this might be the month for you to do that around your relationships, your partners, your business collaborators, your clients, any type of intimate connection in your life. You may have to make a tough love dad Saturn decision in order for you to move forward in your career area of life or your home and family. So pay attention. Relationships definitely might be challenged this month. And of course, we have our Mars retrograde starting on the 7th of the month. Mars is going to retrograde from your 12th house back to your 11th house. But for now, in this month, he is staying in that 12th house space. Remember, Mars asks you to exert energy, put energy outwards, moving forward. And when he retrogrades, he's like, hold on, we have to go back to the drawing board and strategize a little bit. So in your 12th house, he is definitely going to ask you to revisit and assess how you are putting your energy and effort towards your spiritual practice. Are you taking time to meditate, to pray, to journal? Are you taking time to work on your mental health? Is it going to therapy? Is it processing things, doing Reiki and sound baths and energy healing of different sorts? So making sure that the 12th house area of your life, your mental, emotional, and spiritual health is strong, as Mars has not been in this area of your chart in 2 years. Now, he will put a pin on it and come back in April and May of 2025 because he will retrograde back into your 11th house. But we'll talk more about that next month. And the last thing to recognize is the North Node is in your 8th house for one more final month, because next month on 1/1/1, January 11th, the North Node is going to leave your 8th house and enter into your 7th house, and the South Node in the 2nd house back to the 1st house. So this is your final month where you're clearing, releasing, and letting go of any kind of old income streams, material possessions, anything in your 2nd house space that no longer serves you or feels out of balance. So cutting things out of your budget, selling a second car, letting go of a side hustle that hasn't been serving you or working. And in your 8th house, opportunities, open doors, new beginnings, new fresh starts with that North Node in the 8th house of joint finances, people benefiting you financially, an inheritance, a tax refund, anything around the 8th house spaces might be fated and destined for one last final month to come in. And then next month, we are going to have the North Node move into Pisces, where Saturn has been preparing and setting the foundation. So a lot to talk about next month as well. Definitely check out the overview. That will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Libra risings, your primary life coach Venus is very active this month as she starts out in the zodiac energy of Capricorn and then moving into Aquarius. She is going to be dancing and talking to Uranus, who is going to help liberate you from the things that are holding you back, relationships that don't serve, financial situations that are just stuck and stagnant. So lots to discuss with that energy. Of course, your 7th house of relationship, where Aries is having Chiron come out of retrograde. So some wounds around partnerships maybe being healed at this time. And also a huge check-in moment as we are in the middle of the eclipse season. And the sun is highlighting and illuminating your 4th house of home and family, a major check-in moment with yourself, how you prioritize yourself in relationship to your family and your home, and also how you're showing up in your relationships. So much to discuss for you as many different areas of your chart are activated this month. And of course, we are ending the year of 2024, and we're going to help prepare you for what's in store for 2025. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts. Let's dive in.
Starting out with the new moon in Sagittarius, kicking off the month in your 3rd house, as it is Sagittarius sun season. So your 3rd house spaces of life is where you are meant to shine your sun, shine your energy and your spotlight upon. The 3rd house is your mind, learning, growing, understanding things, listening to podcasts, reading books, taking a course or a class. It's also the house of teaching and educating other people, socializing and networking, sharing your message, sharing your skills, sharing your information that you've accumulated throughout the course of your life. It is also spending time with your siblings or travel and transportation, going to places in your local neighborhood. So that is a perfect new moon right at the 1st of the month to set intentions around this area of life. How do you want to grow? What else do you want to learn? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to manifest a new car? What do you want in your 3rd house? That new moon is going to help you call that in. And the sun will be dancing through your 3rd house until the 21st of the month when we reach the winter solstice. Then the sun will travel into your 4th house of home and family to wrap up December. Then the sun is going to say, hey, it's time to shine a spotlight on and look at my home, renovating my home, cleaning my home, selling my home, buying a new home, moving out of my apartment, relocating in some way. And it's also the time for family. So how perfect for the holidays for you Libra risings to have the sun dancing in Capricorn season in your 4th house of home and family. As we can see, we also have Venus, your primary life coach, already paving the way, magnetizing and making your home more beautiful, more pleasurable. And she is going to be there until the 7th of the month. And then she is moving into your 5th house, your fun house, for the rest of the month. So that will be wonderful for you. Don't forget to go back and listen to the timestamp in the planet by planet breakdown for Venus as your primary life coach. She is up to a lot this month where she is going to be opposite Mars and engaging with some of the other planets. So definitely know what dates to pay attention to. But when Venus gets into your 5th house, it's an opportunity for you to magnetize, attract, and make beautiful your children, creative projects. This is a great time to date, go on dates, go on a date with your partner, meet someone new. Also a great time for entrepreneurship and calling in more clients or something wonderful financially officially into your business, and also a great time for you to get out there and participate in some hobbies and things that bring you joy. Now, don't forget Mercury is retrograde as well this month until the 15th when we have the full moon in Gemini. I'm not going to go too much into Mercury or Jupiter's retrograde in this video because I made a completely separate video breaking that down for you, so you can head over to that video. But for this month on the 15th, that full moon in Gemini is going to highlight and illuminate your ninth house spaces. That is going to be a very mental full moon for you, asking you to look back and reflect at what kind of information, wisdom, knowledge, experience have you gained thus far on your path? And is that information still beneficial for where you want to go? Is an old belief system outdated? Is an old story or narrative that you've been telling yourself but actually isn't even true at all? Maybe you learned something a really long time ago and you've still been using that in your day to day, but actually there's new updated information, new science, new research. So the example I used in the video was we talked about, let's say you went to school for marketing 30 years ago, and that's when there was advertisements on TV and mailers sent to your house. Well, that is so outdated. And so you have to have new information and new ways to market, and you have to learn that. So that full moon is going to call you to reflect back on the things that you know or think you know, and where do you need to gain more experience or wisdom to keep you up to date in 2025. And of course, this month we still have Mars in your 11th house. He is officially entering into retrograde on the 6th. He'll be in your 11th house the entire month. Mars asks you to make moves, make decisions, go forward in some way around community, friendship, and tribe. Who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to meet? Who do you want to network with? These are all areas of life. And your 11th house also rules over your future. So make a move towards dreams and wishes and aspirations. Now, Mars has not been here in 2 years, so definitely take advantage of it. And as he retrogrades, he says, hold on, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's strategize and make sure that the future and the hopes and the dreams and the wishes that we have are actually what we really want. Maybe you've always wanted to move to another country, and now you're like, you know what, actually that doesn't sound so wonderful. I want to change that dream, and I want to get an RV, and I want to travel all around my country. That might be something with this Mars in your 11th house, re-strategizing your future, or who you consider friends and who you'd like to hang out with in the future. Now, once Mars goes back in your 10th house of career, he will retrograde all the way until April, and then returning back to your 11th house. So this will be revisited in April and May of 2025. And the last thing to highlight today is that we have Saturn squaring Jupiter, squaring Mercury. Saturn always says, hey, pause, reflect. Are you doing what you need to do? Are you doing hard things? My Libra rising, Saturn is now out of retrograde. Lord Karma is rewarding or punishing depending on how well you learned his lessons. So pay attention to your health house. He may be giving you some obstacles and challenges right now to say, hey, are we going to get our act together or what around your routines, your diet, your supplement, your workout programs, your sleep health, work-life balance. So Saturn might be serving some great things, and you might be feeling amazing and all is well, and you're losing weight and you have more energy, or you haven't been doing the Saturn tough love lessons and some obstacles may be coming up. And again, as we see, Saturn is T-squaring your mental houses, your 9th and your 10th. And as we can see here, Saturn is T-squaring your mental houses, your 3rd and your 9th spaces. So there is some mindset work that has to be processed. Maybe there's some information you have to gather in order to improve your health and wellness in some way. So that might be coming up this month as well. And don't forget the North and the South node. They are in their final month in Aries and Libra. So next month, the North node is leaving your 7th house and entering into your health house, where you're going to have to focus on your health more than ever. And the South node will be leaving your 1st house and entering your 12th house, where you're going to have to release some self-sabotage, some victimization, some negative tendencies. But we'll talk more about that when we get to January. Just know this is your final month to focus on expanding and growing with the North node in your relationship sector. So business partners and clients and new opportunities may be coming in this month, and also focusing in on yourself and releasing and letting go any old versions, shedding of your skin, getting ready to glow up. So that is a lot going on this month. As you can see, many different areas of your chart are activated. We will talk so much more about 2025 coming up here very shortly. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for all of that, and go listen to the Mercury and Jupiter retrograde, as both of those planets are very active this month. Definitely check out the overview. That will help you have the best relationships, because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Scorpio risings, a heavy, busy month for you as many planets are activating your anchor houses, your major areas of life. Uranus is shaking up and liberating you from your 7th house of partnerships. So there may be some final decisions you need to make in your partnerships and friendships and relationships at the end of the year on the 28th of December. We also have your 4th house of home and family getting Pluto's visitation now. So lots of shifting and changing there. Mars, your primary life coach, is retrograding through your 10th house of relationships. So your two primary life coaches are still opposing each other in major heavy hitting areas of your chart. And of course, we have all the other retrogrades ending and beginning this month. So many things to discuss for you, my Scorpio risings. Grab your birth chart as we navigate the end of the year of 2024 and help prepare you for the year ahead. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
Let's kickstart with the new moon in Sagittarius and the sun dancing through your 2nd house, your money house. This is your money new moon of the year to set intentions and manifest anything you need financially, material possessions, assets, resources, a new car, anything that can benefit you, a second stream of income, calling in more money. So set those intentions on the 1st of the month. And of course, the sun will be dancing through this area of your chart, asking you to look at your budget, your income, all the money stuff until we get to the 21st of December, when the sun will then journey into your 3rd house for Capricorn sun season. Once the sun gets into your 3rd house on the 21st, the winter solstice, you will have an opportunity to shine your light and your energy and heat and vitality into your 3rd house of your mind, speaking, expressing, communicating, socializing, and networking, sharing your message on social media, blogging, podcasting, writing a book, anything where you are sharing your wisdom with the world, or even going back to school and gaining more wisdom, reading a lot of books as the sun is calling you to your mental house as we get into Capricorn sun season. And as we end the year, we are going to have that new moon in Capricorn in your 3rd house on the 30th of the month, where it's an opportunity at the end of the year to set your intentions for 2025. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to achieve? And specifically around what you want to learn or what you want to share with the world. So making sure that you definitely set those intentions as we get to the end of the year. In the middle of the month, we are going to have that full moon in Gemini, highlighting and illuminating your financial access. That Gemini Gemini full moon is going to light up your 8th house, asking you to shed, release anything that does not serve you. That might be an old loan, an old debt. Maybe you have to go rewrite your wills. Maybe you have to have a tough conversation with someone that you share finances with, but there is something that has to be released and let go of that no longer serves you. And maybe it's even old mental limiting beliefs around money. Maybe it's even old information that you thought applied to your money and it no longer applies. So pay attention with that full moon. And of course, this month we have Mercury and Jupiter still retrograde. I'm not going to go too much into that here as I have completely separate videos for both Jupiter and Mercury's retrograde. So go check that out. We also have Saturn T-squaring your financial access this month. Remember, Saturn is officially out of retrograde. So Lord Karma is here to serve the rewards and the punishments this month, depending on how well you learned his lessons in your 5th house spaces. So have you been able to add time for play, fun, joy, romance? Have you started a hobby? Have you been working on a creative project? There may have been challenges and hiccups along the way, but Saturn is now out of retrograde and will reward you for these things. Also, if you are starting to date again, Saturn is asking you to be really discerning and figure out who you want to commit to. Is it worth your time for the long haul? And if you're an entrepreneur, Saturn also may be asking you to make some tough decisions around your finances in order to move forward in your business. Now, your primary life coach this month, Mars, is entering retrograde on the 6th. So pay attention. You are not going to feel as vital, as energized, as motivated, as driven as you normally do, my Scorpio risings. But Mars is essentially moving in your 10th house space. He has not been here in 2 years, so it's time to take action around your career, your professional life, your reputation, the title that you are called, to step it up in a big way and move forward in your career. But when he goes retrograde, he's going to say, hold on a second, not quite yet. Let's strategize, let's game plan, let's make sure we know exactly what we want to be known for, what is our purpose, what is our mission, what is our legacy, and then he will go back into your 9th house space where maybe you have to gain more wisdom or knowledge or experience or hire a mentor in some way. We'll talk more about that in January, because Mars is going to be in your 10th house for the entire month of December. Now, your other primary life coach, Pluto, is officially in your 4th house of home and family. This is the area of life that you are going to transform through. We will talk so much more about that in your 2025 astro forecast reading. I would love to do a one-on-one session with you because Scorpio risings, you have so much going on in your area of home and family, in your career, in your relationships, so much changing and adjusting in 2025. So we can dive into that more one-on-one. And then the last thing to bring up today is noticing that the North Node is in its final moments here in your 6th house of health and wellness, the South Node as well in your 12th house of mental and emotional health. After this month, the North Node and the South Node will be moving into Pisces and Virgo on 1/1/1, January 11th. So this is your final month where you're being called to focus your eyes on your 6th house, your health, your wellness, your daily habits, your routines, making sure that you are really paying attention and strategizing this area. And your 12th house is releasing and letting go. This is such a karmic purging, karma clearing time for you as the South Node dances through your 12th house spaces for one more final month. And then lastly, we have Venus in your 3rd house. As we begin the month, Venus is going to be bringing beautiful, magnetizing, attracting, pleasurable thoughts, pleasurable information, allowing you to speak and express in ways that people are drawn to you. So definitely get on social media, share your message, communicate with people. She might also be attracting any kind of financial resources that you may need in order to go back to school or improve your transportation. So pay attention. However, this is going to be short-lived in December because on the 7th, she's officially going to move into your 4th house of home and family. She's going to run into Pluto there, your primary life coach, and saying, hey, we need to beautify our home, our spaces, renovations, DIY projects, maybe upgrading or updating our home or moving apartments in some ways. Time to beautify the 4th house of home and family, and also spending more time with family that feels good to you, that you love, that you value, and that you prioritize. So as you can see, there is a lot going on this month, and we could talk, like I said, way more about it in a one-on-one session. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Sagittarius risings, you are usually the ones who are optimistic and joyful and expansive and happy-go-lucky, but you may not feel that right now during this holiday season as your primary life coach Jupiter is retrograde. Now, we do have a lot of pileup of energy in your first house with this Mercury retrograde in your first house, the sun entering into Sagittarius season. So it is your astrological new year and the new moon in Sagittarius kicking off the month of December. And of course, you have a lot of energy with Jupiter and the full moon highlighting and illuminating your relationship sector as well this month, and many other things going on in between. We're going to navigate all of that as you wrap up the final month of 2024 and prepare you for 2025. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts here. Let's dive in.
Let's start out with your new moon of the year, the new moon in Sagittarius on the first of the month in your first house, as it is Sagittarius sun season. So this is the time for you to focus on you. It is all about you, what your needs, your wants, your desires, how you dress, how you appear. This is focusing in on the self, being selfish for a season, my Sagittarius risings, setting those intentions on any kind of upgrade, glow up that you want to do for your physical body, your appearance, your wardrobe, your hair, setting intentions around how you want to attract and magnetize people to you in the new year, and just shining your light through the rest of Sagittarius sun season until the 21st of the month, when the sun is then going to move into the zodiac energy of Capricorn, your financial area of life on the winter solstice. Once the sun gets into Capricorn for the rest of December, you are going to shine your light, your spotlight, your energy onto the finances in your life, your income streams, your budget, your material possessions, assets, anything that you have in your financial world. You're going to shine your spotlight upon it. And when we get to the 30th, we're going to have that new moon in Capricorn. That is your money new moon of the year. What a beautiful way to end 2024 and to set intentions for the upcoming year around money, finances, income, material possessions, things that you want to manifest and call in for the new year. As we kickstart the month, though, we see that we have Venus already here, helping magnetize maybe opportunities to create more streams of income, or magnetize an opportunity to call in a material possession that you've wanted, that you value, that you really, really would hold dear, or even just beautifying your budget a little bit, making it feel more pleasurable and easy and in flow. And then Venus on the 7th of the month is going to move into your third house, The third house space, Venus is going to attract and magnetize and make beautiful your thoughts, your mind, your tone, your language. It's a great time for you to express yourself, share your message, communicate, get on social media, write a blog post, start a podcast, because Venus is going to bring the beauty and the pleasure to your mind, your tone, and your language. It's also an opportunity where Venus may be able to attract anything that you need for transportation, networks, social groups, or even just spending some time with your siblings and people that you love in your close social circle. Now, this month, Mercury is still retrograde until the 15th when we get to that full moon in Gemini. That full moon in Gemini is your relationship full moon of the year, as it's highlighting your 7th house. That is going to be a time for you to assess and reflect the relationships in your life that you want to release and let go of that no longer serve you. So pay attention to what's coming up around that full moon. What are you seeing clearly, and who needs to go out of your life? Because this is a very relationship focused month for you, with Mercury retrograde and the sun and the new moon in your 1st house, Jupiter retrograde and the full moon highlighting your 7th house. These are your relationship areas of life, me versus we. I'm not going to talk too much about the Mercury or the Jupiter retrograde in this video, because I do have a completely separate video breaking all of that down for you, so go check that out. But we can see here that we have Saturn T-squaring this energy from your 4th house of home and family. Remember, Saturn is now out of retrograde, so Lord Karma is out here serving his rewards or punishments depending on how well you learned his lessons. So pay attention to what might be coming up in your 4th house of home and family, challenges and obstacles. Maybe your roof starts leaking, or something that you've been needing to clean or dust for a really long time. Something happens to it. You're being called to update your home in some sort of way. It could even be maybe a tough decision you have to make to leave your home, your apartment, and rent or buy somewhere new. So pay attention to what Saturn is trying to teach you over in your 4th house of home and making tough decisions. It's also around family, so maybe you've got to put some boundaries in place with your family as well throughout the holidays. Now, we also have Mars kickstarting his retrograde on the 7th. So pay attention, because Mars is going to slow down your energy, your chi, and your vitality. Mars in your 9th house is saying, hey, what action do we need to take? What do we need to learn? Where do we need to gain wisdom and knowledge and more experience? Where do we need to travel to? What is on our bucket list? What do we still want to accomplish in our life? Do we need to hire a mentor? Do we need to expand our knowledge base, listening to more podcasts and stuff? There's something in your 9th house that you're needing to adjust and move forward in. However, Mars says, hold on a second. We are now going to go retrograde. We're going to review and strategize and see what is it that we actually want to do. So great season for you in December to revisit your bucket list, scroll a little bit on Pinterest, make some plans on getting those things checked off in your life, whether they're in 2025, 2028, or who knows, later in your life, but starting to make those plans to gain that wisdom, knowledge, and experience that you are here on Earth to start learning. Now, don't forget, Jupiter is your primary life coach this month. He is retrograde, so you may not feel as optimistic, as joyful, as positive as you normally do, my Sagittarius risings, but definitely go back and listen to the Jupiter retrograde video that I did if you haven't yet. And of course, in this video, you can go to the timestamp for Jupiter in the planet by planet breakdown, so you know exactly what he's up to this month and what specific dates you may want to pay attention to. The final thing to note is that the North Node in Aries in your 5th house and the South Node in Libra in your 11th house. This is the final month, because next month they are shifting over into your 4th house of home and your 10th house of career as the nodal axis changes. So what does this mean? This means this is the final month for you to focus your eyes on your 5th house, making sure that you are attracting and paying attention to career opportunities, creative passion projects. If you're an entrepreneur, changing and adjusting your profession or even the clients that you work with, starting some hobbies, making sure you're incorporating more fun and romance and play and pleasure into your life, and definitely focusing on children. This might even be a month where you get pregnant or have a child, my Sagittarius risings. And your 11th house, we are clearing, releasing, letting go, cutting karma, purging any relationships as far as friendships, social circle, tribe, and community that just no longer aligns with us. This has been an 18-month cycle, and you might get to the point, you know what, I really just don't vibe with those people anymore, and they got to go. Or maybe an old dream or wish that you've had for a really long time, you realize just does not serve you anymore, and you just move on to a new dream, a new vision for 2025. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships, because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecasts here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Capricorn risings, your primary life coach Saturn is officially out of retrograde. He's fast forwarding, serving everyone the punishments or the rewards, depending on the karma they accrued during their Saturn retrograde season. However, for you, my Capricorn risings, this is really a season for you to move ahead. Venus in your first house, making you super magnetic, attracting people to you, helping you glow up and up level your brand and your identity, how people see you out there in the world. And then Venus is going to move into your financial sector, which will be a lovely season and period where she'll join up with Pluto for the next 20 years, where you're going to transform through the financial area of your chart. Of course, we have a lot of other energy that's going to be impacting you, like Mars eventually moving back into your relationship sector, your 7th house, the North and the South node in their final moments in your career house, in your home and family area of life. We are really preparing in the month of December for you, my Capricorn risings, to wrap up some cycles, to start a new cycle, a new chapter with the new moon in Capricorn, your new moon of the year, setting those intentions for what you want 2025 to be. So as we wrap up and plan for the month of December, we're going to fast forward and look ahead at the new year as well. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts. Let's dive in.
Let's kick off with the new moon in Sagittarius on the 1st of the month as the sun also journeys through your 12th house. This is your new moon of the year for you to really set intentions around your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, releasing and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. So looking at limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging behaviors, old energetic cords, karma, even past life stuff, even looking at mental health. What are some stories and narratives that you've been telling yourself that are no longer true and that are actually holding you back from living your best life? So setting some intentions to improve and up level your mental, emotional, and spiritual health will be wonderful under this new moon. It is also Sagittarius sun season, so highlighting the 12th house space, a great season until the 21st of the month for you to really clear and cut and purge and release and let go, shed, and most importantly, rest, as the sun is calling you for retreating and slowing down in preparation for your personal astrological new year when the sun moves into your first house On the 21st of December, the winter solstice, the sun is then going to shine a spotlight and highlight you. It is your glow up season as you are looking at your needs, your wants, your desires, your appearance, your clothes, your hair. Like, how are you showing up in this world and how do you want to be seen? What is your vibe, your avatar, your identity? Once the sun gets into Capricorn, we're also going to be ending the month on the 30th with the new moon in Capricorn, where the sun and the moon are going to gather together for you to set your intentions for the new year around who do you want to be? How do you want to be seen? Do you need to update your social media profile? Do you need to take some new photos? Do you need to update your wardrobe? What do you need to do to glow up in 2025? Because that new moon is going to allow you to set those intentions and lay out a solid strategic plan on how you're going to make it happen. As we kick off the month, we already have Venus in your first house of home. This is short-lived. It's only the first week because on the 7th, she's going to move into your second house. But regardless, both are amazing energies. Venus in our first house allows us to be super magnetic, super attractive. People are vibing with us. People are seeing us as you are attracting an energy to yourself and glowing up. So this could be a great time for you to up-level your hair, your wardrobe in some sort of way, even your physical body. On the 7th, however, Venus is moving over to your money house. We love when Venus visits our money house as she attracts and magnetizes, makes it more beautiful and more pleasurable. So this is income streams, material possessions, calling in an asset or resource that you've been wanting and desiring for a while, and even allowing your budget to be a little bit more beautiful and flexible. So definitely a great season to end the year. Now, your primary life coach is Saturn. Saturn is officially out of retrograde. We've been talking about this for a while as Saturn is now in forward momentum, helping you get back on track, rewarding or punishing depending on how well you've learned those lessons through his retrograde. Now, Saturn in your third house is T-squaring the sun and Jupiter and Mercury and the full moon and all the things going on this month. So we may notice some mental things, some mental thoughts, some mental beliefs. There's some mental shifts that need to be made in order for you to improve your health. Your 6th house of health and wellness, where Jupiter is retrograding, and your 12th house of your emotional and mental health is where Mercury is retrograding. So you are reprogramming, re-updating your mind, your narrative, your story that is impacting your physical and emotional well-being. And Saturn is saying, yeah, we may actually have to look at the way that we're speaking to ourselves, the way that we're speaking about the world. The words that we're using are like magic wands and they are creating your reality, and they might be creating a reality that is making you sicker or more unwell. Are you saying to yourself, oh, this pain, oh, my back hurts, oh, this is so wrong all the time? Well, that's going to be your reality. Saturn is saying, knock it off. It's time for us to think better thinking thoughts, to speak better thinking thoughts. And maybe we need to learn about some new modalities to help our physical body, or we may need to go to talk therapy or Reiki or past life regression or something on the energetic realm in order to release and let go of things that are holding us back. So there might be some wisdom, some books, some podcasts that you need to learn or read this month that is going to improve your health and your emotional well-being. So pay attention to that. Saturn is definitely teaching you some lessons here. Mars is also going retrograde this month, so you might notice your energy, your chi, your vitality sinking a little bit as well. Mars is in your 8th house. He has not been here in 2 years. So Mars is essentially saying, hey, we need to move forward. We need to make some decisions. We need to strategize. We need to game plan. We need to exert some energy around those taboo spaces of our life that we are so uncomfortable talking about. So this month you may have to reflect and strategize on creating wills, doing any kind of paperwork or related to finances, investments that you need to make, rearranging your investments, maybe even looking at your taxes, hiring a new CPA, even having tough conversations with your family around death and inheritances and things like that. Even maybe your intimate sex life, or even making a decision to go to therapy and deal with your fears and vulnerabilities once and for all. So Mars is going to be retrograding in your 8th house the entire month. He will move back into your 7th house in 2025 and come back in your 8th house in April and May. So we will put a pin in it and come on back. It is also the final month with the North Node in your 4th house of home and family and the South Node in your 10th house of career. So this is your final month where your eyes are on the prize. There are some fated and destined things wrapping up around where you live. Maybe you're moving this month. Maybe you're finishing a renovation project. Something is still needing adjustment that is going to happen in a very fated way around home and family. and also releasing and letting go of things that don't serve in your career life. If your job downsizes, you lose your job, you leave your job, something happens where you are shedding and letting go of an old title, an old position, an old career aspect of your life, that's okay. The South Node is releasing that from you so you can start fresh in 2025. And then we'll talk about the new nodal shift and all of that in the January forecast. But as you can see, there's a lot going on this month. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December. And lastly, don't forget to listen to the timestamp for Saturn, your primary life coach, in the Planet by Planet breakdown. He is definitely up to a lot this month, and you can get caught up on what specific days you want to pay attention to as Saturn is making some moves in December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those two exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Aquarius risings, your primary life coaches are active this month where Saturn is officially out of retrograde. He's moving forward. He is full steam ahead now, serving the karma to you, rewards or punishments based on how well you learned his lesson in your financial area of life. So pay attention if money stuff is coming up, material possessions, work stuff, income stuff is coming up. It's a reflection of the lessons that you've learned. And your other primary life coach, Uranus, is heavily activated this month, where by the 28th, he's going to force us to make some decisions on relationships, finances, creative projects, things that we value. Do we want to take them with us into the new year, or do we want to leave them behind once and for all? Now, your anchor areas of life, your first, fourth, seventh, and 10th house are heavily activated. We have Mars retrograding now in your relationship area of life. And we have Taurus shaking things up in your home and family area of life, and maybe some shifts and adjustments during Scorpio sun season that we just wrapped up. So lots to discuss for you as we end the final month of 2024 and prepare for your year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'll pull up the charts Let's dive in.
Let's start out with the new moon in Sagittarius, as it is Sagittarius sun season after all, highlighting and illuminating your 11th house. This is the perfect new moon for you to set intentions around your community, your tribe, who you want to meet, who you want to network with, calling in new friendship groups that are ultimately going to help you get to your dreams and your goals and your visions. The 11th house is also your future. So this is a perfect new moon kicking off December for you to set intentions around what do you want to manifest in 2025? What is the goal and the vision that you are going to accomplish as you move forward? Mercury is still retrograde here as well, but I'm not going to go too much into Mercury and Jupiter in this video, as I have completely separate videos on both of their planets and their retrograde. So go check that out after this video to get caught up on what they're up to this month. But just know the sun is going to highlight and shine a spotlight on friendships until the 21st of the month. So get out there, go do some holiday events with your friends, host a Friendsgiving, like go shine your light, your energy, your spotlight on your tribe and your community. On the 21st, the sun is going to move into your 12th house. That is the winter solstice, the darkest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, and your 12th house is all about resting, retreating, relaxing, cleansing, shedding, purging, releasing, letting go of anything that does not serve you. We're going to have the new moon in your 12th house, the new moon in Capricorn on the 30th of the month. That is a perfect new moon to set intentions around your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. If you want to start any habits or activities or things in your life like therapy or Reiki that is going to help you heal and help you release and let go of things that are holding you back, like limiting beliefs or old stuck and stagnant energy or emotions that are trapped in your body. So that is going to be how you're going to end the year and the end of the month with Capricorn sun season. Venus is already there, beautifying that space for you, making it beautiful and pleasurable. So maybe you have an opportunity to go to a sound bath, to meet a Reiki practitioner, to meet a therapist. Maybe you read a book that helps you think better thinking thoughts and release some limiting beliefs. Like Venus is attracting and magnetizing opportunities to your 12th house, and also just allowing you to rest a little bit, to be in your feminine energy for a moment. On the 7th, however, Venus is moving over to your first house. We love this energy because Venus in the first house, when she comes to visit once a year, helps you be super magnetic, to attract people to you, to beautify your physical body, your appearance, your identity, your avatar. This is a great time for you to glow up, do those face masks, cut your hair, get a new wardrobe, update your social media profiles. Venus is going to be having people magnetize to you. Now, your primary life coach is Uranus and Saturn. Saturn this month, as we can see, is T-squaring all that energy going on in your 11th and your 5th house. Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, the sun, the new moon, the full moon, all that is going on in Sagittarius and Gemini. Saturn, remember, acts as like a little crossing guard when he T-squares these energies and says, wait, hold up a second. Are we committed? Are we disciplined? Are we doing the tough love things? Or are we burying our head in the sand? Remember, Saturn is in your financial sector. So hopefully you learned your lesson around your finances. You did the tough things that you needed to do to make your money watertight during his retrograde, because now Saturn is out of retrograde, moving forward. Lord Karma is serving those rewards and punishments in your financial area. So you might be feeling that this month. And also it is squaring your 11th house of friendship and tribe. So maybe this year you decide you're not going to buy gifts for all of your friends, or you're not going to invest your money on going out to all of these holiday parties, because Saturn is like, wait a second, hold on. We need to look at our budget and our income and what we're spending our money on and what we value and what we prioritize. And we're going to have that full moon in Gemini on the 15th of the month, the day that Mercury comes out of retrograde. That full moon is going to highlight your 5th house. So if you're an entrepreneur, that is going to be a full moon that may be asking you to course correct or release or let go of something in your business that doesn't serve you. It could also be around your children, where maybe you have to change your spending habits around your children, with Saturn squaring that energy. If you're working on a creative project, maybe you have to pivot or course correct as well, release and let go of something that is not working for that project. And also maybe there is a hobby or activity or something that you just don't really enjoy, and you say, you know what, I'm going to switch gears here. Pay attention to that energy. We also have Mars going retrograde this month. Mars is in your 7th house of relationships. He has not been here in 2 years, and he is essentially helping you move forward, take steps, take actionable movement towards new relationships, improving your relationships, or calling in relationships like business partners, clients, friendships. He is retrograde, however, after the 7th of this month, staying in your 7th house. So this is going back to the drawing board and asking yourself, are these really people I want to be in a long-term relationship with? Are they serving me? Do I need to have some tough conversations? Do I need to lay down some boundaries? Do I need to assert myself? Mars is going to help you make a plan so that when he circles back to this area of life in April and May of 2025, you can move forward. Say yes or no on this relationship once and for all. Say yes or no on some clients that you may or may not want. Friendships, like all these things you may make moves on when we circle back in 2025. And of course, this is the final month with the North Node in your 3rd house and the South Node in your 9th house. Next month on the 11th, 111, the nodes are going to move into your financial access. So there's going to be a lot of financial rearranging for you in 2025. Lots that we can talk about in a one-on-one session as we prepare for all the eclipses in your finances of 2nd house and 8th house. But this is the final month where there's any kind of other wisdom, knowledge, experience that you need to gain in order to go on your journey, on your path for 2025. And of course, there's so many other little micro things that are going on. Make sure you go back and listen to the timestamp for your primary life coach Uranus and Saturn this month, as both of them are up to a few things, Saturn more than Uranus. So go check that out in the planet by planet breakdown. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology Podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers. And you name the relationship, I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I want to send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video. My Pisces rising, so much going on for you this month as Saturn is officially out of retrograde in your 1st house, helping you move forward in your new identity, your rebrand, how you want to be seen in the world. Also setting in some boundaries for yourself, focusing in on your needs, wants, and desires again. Neptune, one of your primary life coaches, is coming out of retrograde, helping you put your dreamy hat, your rose-colored glasses back on, letting you be the visionary, the creative guru that you are, tapping back into that and creating some magic in the world again. You also have a lot of other planetary energy activating your financial sector with the North Node in its final moments in your money house and lots of other areas of your chart being activated. So lots to discuss as we end 2024 with this final month, this final energy, and preparing you for the year ahead. So grab your birth chart. I'm going to pull up the charts and let's dive in.
Starting off the month with the new moon in Sagittarius as the sun dances and journeys through your 10th house. What a perfect way to start this month where you can set your intentions around your career. What do you want to call in? A new position, a new title? Maybe it's moving jobs and you want to call in a new company that's like your dream company that you want to work for. Maybe it's even a legacy, a purpose, a mission you want to start doing in 2025. As the sun dances in Sagittarius through your 10th house, this is your time to shine your energy, your spotlight on your 10th house. So do not feel guilty at all if you are spending more time at work through the first half of December. You are really meant in this season to shine your spotlight on your reputation, your public life, your title, how you are known in this world. And then the sun on the 21st is going to move into your 11th house. That is going to be Capricorn sun season on the winter solstice. And then the sun is going to journey and highlight and spotlight your friendship, your community, your tribe. Over the holidays and New Year's, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to host friends, be with friends, gather with your community and tribe. And of course, the 11th house is your future, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. We're going to have a new moon in your 11th house to end 2024 on the 30th of December. What a beautiful way to set intentions around what do you want your future to look like, creating that vision board, manifesting those hopes and dreams and wishes, maybe even spending some time with friends on that new moon or calling in a new friendship circle that you would love to be a part of under that new moon space. And as we enter in the month, Venus is already there. She is already dancing through your 11th house, attracting and magnetizing people to you. Maybe there's some new friends or social circles that have come into your life. Maybe there's even some new opportunities for you to accomplish a dream of some sort. Now, this is short-lived in December as Venus is going to move into your 12th house on the 7th, where she is now going to help you rest, retreat, relax, do some healing energetically, emotionally, and mentally, as she is going to bring better thinking thoughts, help you magnetize opportunities to cut self-sabotage or victimization, maybe even calling in some sort of therapist or energy healer to allow you to really work on the behind the scenes spaces of your life. If there's any projects that you're working on behind the scenes, like creating an app, working on your website, anything that you want to launch in the new year, Venus is also going to help you make it more beautiful so that when the world sees it, they see it in its full glory. Now, on the 15th of the month, we are going to have the full moon in Gemini highlighting and illuminating your 4th house of home and family. That full moon is really going to ask you to let go of any kind of activities, people pleasing, anything around family that does not serve you anymore. So maybe it's like you don't want to go over to your aunt's house anymore because every time you do, you leave feeling crummy, or you don't want to have conversations with certain people all the time. So really looking at changes that need to be made around the family. And of course, changes that need to be made around your home. So you could be moving your home, ending some sort of renovation in your home. And of course, we have Jupiter retrograde here as well. So I'm not going to talk too much about the Mercury and Jupiter retrograde in this video, as I made completely separate videos for each one of those planets. So you can go check that out after this forecast reading. But what we can see here is that we have Saturn squaring this energy. Saturn is saying, hold on, stop a second. He's like the crossing guard that's like, are we really committed to where we live? Or do we need to release and let go and find a new place to live? Are we really committed to our career, or do we need to make a tough decision to set new intentions to start a new career? And Saturn is in your first house, right? He is in Pisces right now. So he is really challenging you to up level, glow up, change your identity, change your vibe in some sort of way. Let the world see you in a different way and be committed to yourself more than ever, setting those boundaries and prioritizing your needs, wants, and desires. Such a huge lesson for you now that Saturn is out of retrograde. And as he's out of retrograde, he is serving rewards or punishments depending on how well you've been focusing on yourself for the last few months. We also have Neptune coming out of retrograde in your first house at the end of the month. This is going to allow you to go back to being the visionary, the dreamer, having your head in the clouds, allowing yourself to expand and just feel so much more like yourself, my Pisces rising. So anticipate that after Neptune comes out of retrograde in your first house. If you've been working on a creative project or wanting to birth something out into the world about entertainment or arts or creativity, it's going to be a great time for you to do it after the 7th when Neptune is moving forward again. And we also have Mars kicking off his retrograde this month. Mars has not been in your 6th house of health and wellness in 2 years. He enters in and says, okay, now's the time we got to make moves. We got to strategize. We got to game plan. We got to move forward. We got to take action. around your physical well-being, your day-to-day habits, your supplements, your diet, your workout routines, your sleep schedule, your work-life balance. Like, it's time for us to make some moves and move forward. However, on the 7th, he's going to go retrograde. So he's like, wait a second, hold on. Let's strategize. Let's game plan. Let's make sure this is the best workout program. This is the right supplement. Maybe we do need to retrograde, go back and find a new doctor and gather more information and knowledge and data points so that when Mars comes back after his retrograde in April and May, you can really move forward and make some progress around your health. If you've been wanting to lose weight, heal your autoimmune disorder, find a new doctor, improve something in your life physically, Mars is going to help you do that after the first quarter of 2025. We've got a lot going on for you, Pisces risings, in the first quarter of 2025 with so many planets piling up in your first house. It is going to be a monumental year for you. So I would just love to dive in one-on-one to help you prepare because it's a lot to talk about. And remembering that next month, we're going to have the North Node officially entering into your first house on 1/1/1 and the South Node entering into your 7th house of relationships. So this is your final month where the North Node is dancing through your money sector. So there might be some financial opportunities or income streams or even something around a material possession, an asset or resource that might be adventuring its way towards you with the final moments of the North Node moving you forward in your income sector, or releasing and letting go of something with the South Node in its final moments in your 8th house. So releasing and letting go of an old will and rewriting a new will, letting go of maybe joint finances or someone supporting you in some way, and you're moving on and you're moving forward because you don't want to be attached to someone anymore and instead serving yourself and focusing on your own income. Now, of course, there's so much more going on this month. I would definitely recommend you go back to the planet by planet breakdown, listen for your timestamp for your primary life coaches, Jupiter, who's retrograde, and Neptune, who is ending his retrograde. Both of those planets are up to a lot this month. In the planet by planet breakdown under those timestamps, you will know exactly what days you're going to want to pay attention to, as those planets are going to affect you the most. Definitely check out the overview that will help you have the best relationships because you can understand what is going on with everyone around you as we move through the month of December.
I hope this forecast resonated for you. I hope it gave you some inspiration and motivation on how you're going to end 2024 and prepare for the new year energy ahead. So many exciting things. Let me know that you were here. Say hi in the comments below. It means so much to me to know that you listened and tuned in and you spent some of your magical moments here with me. And I just want to leave you with those 2 exciting announcements, shifts and changes that are in store for me and my channel and for you to help you learn more about astrology. I love doing the astro forecast here. I love doing the astro weather. I will continue them. However, now I have officially launched the Relational Astrology podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms, and I'll eventually be posting the video version here on YouTube once I get some tech glitches figured out, but you can start binging all the content. The podcast is designed to specifically help you use the tool of astrology to have better relationships in all areas of your life. So we're not just talking romantic. We're looking at business owners and clients. We're looking at parents and children and friends and siblings and neighbors and coworkers, and you name the relationship. I have a podcast episode already scripted out and ready to be recorded. It is truly my passion to talk about relationships and understanding our birth chart and the birth chart of the people around us and how understanding it can benefit all of us. So I hope you'll binge the content. The first episode is all about relational astrology, getting to know me. We have an episode on all the planets and how they affect our relationships, our moon signs, which is the most important. And I have 87 episodes ready to be launched. And lastly, just a reminder that as we move into the holidays, if you're looking for a unique gift to give someone, you can give them the 2025 Astrology Alchemy Journal. A lot of my clients love gifting this every single year to someone special in their life. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving as they use it throughout the year. They get to not only learn about astrology, create memories of what was going on in their life, but they also get to think of you. So thank you so much for being here and joining me, allowing me to be your guide through the cosmic weather of December. Hope to see you at the December Plan With Me video on December 1st, 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube, where we're going to plan our month ahead together. Ask me any questions in the chat on astrology or your month ahead. And I will send you so much love and light as we navigate the end of this year and we kickstart and prepare for such a pivotal year ahead. I'll catch you in the next video.